Welcome back, people. It is season 4 of the Taxi Squad podcast, episode 38. We're recording this on a Wednesday. You're going to be hearing this on a Thursday. If you haven't, go follow, like, share, comment on all platforms that you may be listening. Thank you for joining us. We have a fair amount to get into today. Some strange and unusual topics. People vomiting on footballs, Sean Diddy Combs sexapades, Mike's conspiracy theories, college football review and picks, and of course, Yankee Stadium overview and NFL picks. It's the Taxi Squad podcast.
Come on, everybody, celebrate. The Taxi Squad is here today. So lose the blues, kick back and relax for now. They talk about sports and stupid stuff. They're probably wrong and it might get rough. So welcome back. It's the Taxi Squad. Yeah.
Rolling through the Bronx, headed to stands,
Got a whirlwind with some salmon in my pants.
telling your girl to get your hand off your man's. It's Bronson.
I be John milking cows, bitch. I'm legendary.
Walking through the stadium, looking at hot dogs or Italian sausage. What do I pick to put on your girl's? I don't know. Okay.
Stadium? What rhymes with stadium?
I don't know.
Palladium.
Ask me what kind of steel is this? It's a palladium. Vince, long time no see, cuz. How you been?
Good, man. I'm sitting freaking cross-legged, crisscross applesauce right now on this
Yeah?
chair.
Really?
It's really uncomfortable. I'm going to switch it around. I'm doing good, man. It's feels like the end of summer. It feels like football's totally back, for better or for worse, and we'll get into that. I'm just glad I'm not P Diddy, you know? Like Kesha says, walk up in the club feeling like P Diddy. Not great these days. Not a great feeling.
No, definitely not good. Not good.
Hey,
And
hey,
it-
bud.
and
You
you-
were in
and you know,
you were
in the words of Baby Bash, I mean, summer days just sitting around, but when the sun goes down,
Is
be
that
ready
Sugar
to party.
Sugar?
No, I don't know exactly, but it was Baby Bash.
Baby Bash did Sugar Sugar, right?
Yeah, they did do Sugar Sugar.
Sugar, how you
and-
get so high.
They had like 2 songs and dipped.
I like that.
That was it.
I like that. I
That was
like
it.
that. I like when people don't overstay their welcome. So I'm 100% with that. Hey,
Make
you
your
were
money.
in the concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
Either that or Wet Dream Tomato. But
Ayo.
yes, I was. I was in the concrete jungle known
Yes,
as
I
New York.
was. How you doing?
I was. It was a lovely time. Did
Processed
tourist
meats.
things, processed meats,
Mhm.
so much pizza. I don't want to look at another pizza as long as I live.
Carb heavy.
Carb loaded, walking loaded, Yankee Stadium
Loaded.
loaded. That means 2 things.
Yeah.
Great food, great times, great people. Manhattan may be one of my new favorite places, and I saw like this much of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not like Manhattan's not it's big, but it's not huge. But there's so many things in Manhattan that you cannot touch the whole thing in one trip, regardless of the length.
No, you got Greenwich Village, West Village, East Village. You got all the
Greenwich Village,
villages,
home of
Soho.
John Mayer at one point. Favorite place in New York City for John Mayer as well. Why do I know that? I don't know, but I know that.
Fun fact, Vince, everybody.
Wow.
The Reverend preaches to you.
Better believe it. Don't forget it.
Yeah. But New York was amazing. I have a new love for that city for sure. I'm not going to say I'm Yankees Mike, but it was really cool. Easy to fall in love with.
I wouldn't blame you for how poorly our boys have played this year. There's a guy in New York, or from New York rather, that is under some steam. And we have a couple strange and unusuals here. I'd like to get to one that's a little more happy.
Sure.
Josh Myers, does that name ring a bell, Mike?
Not necessarily. Sounds like somebody we may have went to high school with in good old Algonquin, Illinois.
True, and he's probably not very far away from that.
Probably not.
Probably.
Does he play for the Packers, Vince?
Yeah, some would call him Sir Pukes a lot. He had a sick
Ah.
game on Sunday. Sick by way of puking on the football. Football guy move? Football guy move puking on the football, Mike?
That is technically a football guy move, Vince, because if you watch the movie The Replacements,
Yep. Mhm.
Keanu Reeves,
Classic football guy.
Shane Falco, maybe
Yep.
the greatest quarterback to ever live in a movie.
Sure.
All right. You had Tumbo or Matumbo or whatever they call that guy.
Dikembe Mutombo?
No, they called him like I forgot his name, but he was like a
Mark
sumo
Trumbo?
wrestler from Japan who ate like a bunch of hard-boiled eggs before a game, and it was
Yes,
hot
I
out,
remember this.
and he was
Yes.
puking in the huddle, and then everybody else
You
started
say
puking.
huddle?
So
He was
said
puking in a
huddle.
huddle. In
He
the
was puking in
huddle.
a huddle.
In a huddle. Sorry,
Okay,
go ahead.
keep it moving. But he's puking in the huddle, and then one thing leads to another. And that's a thing. Now, I've never seen that really in a football game. They say Josh Allen pukes before every game, but
I've
that's
seen it.
before the game.
I've seen it a lot on the practice field. I don't know about you, but in like my sparing football years and people like being at practices in the past, I've seen a lot of throw up like on hot two-a-days, you know?
Yeah.
Not during a game though. This is kind of like that pitcher that puked when he was throwing a ball. Cuz that happened a couple
That
weeks ago too.
two-a-days don't exist anymore.
Anywhere. You can't even do them in
No.
the NFL anymore. Yeah.
So, I mean, this is
But they
that
were
right
doing
there
that
should
shit.
have
They were
been.
doing that shit to 5th graders when we were younger.
Yeah, I mean, two-a-days was a bitch. And
Horrible.
then child labor came in and they were like, okay, you can't run these kids as if
Yeah.
they're working for money. So they're like, well, we
I don't
have a
think
program.
I don't think this tubby 4th grader is going to be an NFL fullback. So I think we should probably pull
We
it
have a
back.
fucking program to run here for the Falcons
Yeah.
of Algonquin.
Yeah.
And bet your bottom dollar that these kids are going to be elite.
And none of us were, unfortunately. Josh
No.
Myers, though, elite, an offensive lineman, which a team that we root for could definitely use. How do you think that ball transfer went? How do you think Malik Willis felt getting that ball?
All right, here it goes. Ready?
Yeah.
He gets in the huddle,
Yeah.
calls the play. He looks at him
Mhm.
and he's like, dude, you good? And he's like, I'm okay. And then he gets down and hike. And then he gets the ball, and you saw him retrieve the football, go,
Yeah.
yeah. And and then he was gone.
Yeah.
He took off with the football.
You ever
And
see
then,
Katy Perry get slimed? Do you ever see that video?
yeah.
Like Nickelodeon slime. That's kind of what it reminded me of. It's just a piss missile coming off of his hand, covered in his own puke. Malik Willis is like, why is Jordan Love injured? What the fuck's going on for me right now? I don't know why I'm here. Truly. And god damn it, they still won that game. So
Shout
do I
out to LaFleur, by the way, for that game. And of course, we're going to break down every game. But LaFleur took shit out of like pistol and I form
yeah, man.
and old school T formations to win a football game in the NFL. Like,
he's made-
that's like some really like OG Belichick stuff right there.
He's made some bad decisions in coaching, and we haven't been the nicest to him in the past. So honestly, flowers for that. He changed his offense around. Malik Willis, who all of us, and we can get to it when we go over the NFL, we all thought like Malik Willis is not an NFL quarterback. Like he did not show that shit in Tennessee. He played at Liberty. You're like, that's not really big competition level. He got the most out of them. They won the game. Like, and he got a puke ball and he still converted a play that wasn't negative yards or a fumble or an interception. So you can't hate on the man.
No, not for a second can you hate on the guy. And
You know who
also,
Sorry, go ahead.
like resident kind of hot guy coach, right? I mean, come on, let's face it.
Yeah. Definitely a hot guy, hotter than us, and getting hotter
Totally.
based on the performance. Now, one guy that you can't get behind and respect, Sean P. Diddy Combs, Mike. We're getting out of the sports world right now to tell you guys about freak offs. This sounds like an advertisement, but god damn it, it's not. Sean
Pop
P. Diddy
culture?
Combs. Yeah, Sean
Pop
P. Diddy
culture? We
Combs,
talking
Mike.
about that Puff Daddy?
We are talking about Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy denied bail today on his hearing for freak offs. Let me give you some information. He is arrested after raids of his house on racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. They found AR 15s, drugs, and 1,000 bottles of lube, freak off supplies found in Diddy's mansion raids. He will remain in jail due to the risk of witness tampering and obstruction of his case. An attorney suggested a $50 million bail that got denied by the judge. Sean P. Diddy Combs, which we've known for weeks now, is doing some crazy shit. And goddamn it if it's not coming to light right now.
Where's Mace in all this? Where's Mace? Where is he? I want to know where Mace is.
I'll be missing you.
But Mace, like, there was a while there that Mace may have been the best rapper on the planet.
Yeah, man.
Then became a preacher. And now is a podcaster. Go figure with Cameron, or AKA Killer Cam,
Yeah.
on a podcast by the name of It Is What It Is.
Yep.
And it is absolutely hysterical.
He wore
I
an
recommend
orange
everybody
tie.
go watch it.
Orange tie.
Yeah, Mace today wore an orange tie commemorating. Mace had to have known over the years, right? I mean, because Mace was like
there. That's the thing. Like, it's not like he's doing freak offs for himself. Like, you saw that bed in the backyard. That's incriminating evidence by itself. Like, you know, P. Diddy talking to fucking Justin Bieber, checking if he's got a wire on. Like, motherfucker knows some shit was about to happen. We also knew that as well. I'm not going to say that I know any of these people because, God damn it, I don't. Not even close. But this wasn't a private showing for P. Diddy. This was a, hey, you around here? Like, hop in there. We're going to let you take a ride on the freak off. Like, to the point where it's like transportation to engage in prostitution and sex trafficking by force. Like, he essentially took people. He's like, you want to be big boy? Like, kind of like Harvey Weinstein. It's like, you get in there and you use one of these 1,000 bottles of lube and let's see what fits inside of you. That's what he was doing.
baby oil, Vince. It was baby oil.
Same shit, different day. How much? What are you going to use for 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
You think you cancel the orders? My question is, he
probably bought them in fucking 5,000 quantity, and he just had 1,000 left after it.
Man, Johnson & Johnson's missing out on some big ass business since P. Diddy got
What's more
arrested.
faulty, COVID or P. Diddy's baby oil subscription?
Motherfuckers out here getting fucking pallets of baby oil, just like, nah, put it in the corner.
Yeah. Wow, P.
Put it
Diddy
in
has
the
a
corner.
lot of
We'll
kids.
use it for later.
Yeah, dude. He has a lot of kids, for sure.
Well, I'm trying to understand this, though, and I have some theories as to why this is happening now, because he fled the country.
Yeah, he did.
He fled the country. He
Well,
had
knew
to
he was
know
fucked.
if he went back to New York, he was getting arrested.
He knew he was fucked. Yeah, he knew he was fucked, especially after his mansion got raided. He's like, yeah, like, we can't hide all this evidence at this point. And there's obviously, like, some stuff that's still going to come out because the judge is like, hey, I know if we let him out, like, some shit's going to get, like, messed up and this investigation's going to get messed up. He's been famous for too long. Like, he's been famous actively for 30 years now, give or take. Already, like, suspect in the whole Biggie death thing. Again, I'm not fucking academics. Fuck that guy. I'm not any of those dudes. But, like, you can't be famous for that long and be essentially controlling people in so many ways where, like, this is a new thing. He's not doing freak-offs recently. He's been doing freak-offs, dude. And, like, that's why 50 Cent's just giggling now. Just, like, told you guys
He said it for years that Puffy's a fruit pop.
2008 or 7 or whatever.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. He's like, and then calling Meek Mill daddy.
Yeah.
That's weird. You don't call another grown man daddy unless you're joking around.
Said some crazy shit to Travis Scott. Like, I think there's been a lot of guys that have gone around, out, and near this dude that have been through or seen some fuck shit.
And then you had Cat Williams on Shannon Sharp's podcast talking about how he turned down $50 million not to get his virgin hole played with.
I don't know if I don't know how much of Cat Williams stuff I like to believe. I feel like
well, I mean, he kind of called it. He was the one who said, "Wait, you'll see. It's all going to go down this year." He said, "This is the year of all the lies getting exposed."
Which, you know, a lot of it could be true. But yeah, the virgin hole is hilarious.
I have a theory. I have a theory.
Okay,
Put
hit
on your
me.
tinfoil hats.
Hit
It's the
me.
Taxi Squad Conspiracy Podcast segment.
Okay,
Ready?
hold on. Conspiracy theory.
By Chicago Mike. Okay. So I have a theory that Diddy is, in fact, a CIA plant.
Okay.
Now, let's look at the history.
Okay.
Um, Jive Records guy, right? A lot of people claim that Diddy was actually the lover of Clive Owen or Clive Williams.
I don't
Clive,
know.
yeah, a lot of
Okay.
people say that. So, oh, Clyde Davis, who founded
Oh, yeah,
Mariah
yeah, yeah.
Carey.
I
So, a
got you.
lot of people claim that Diddy was like the lover of Clyde Davis, who
Whitney
had been
Houston guy.
known. Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, like
Yeah.
known in industry in the
Ear for
music
talent,
side.
for sure.
Right. So we got music history Mike here. A lot of people alleged in the late 80s and early 90s that Clive Davis was in a relationship with Puff Daddy,
Okay.
then Sean Combs, to help him boost his rap career. Then he signs Puffy, who was close, or Puffy signs Biggie, and then creates that. And then you have the Locks, and you have Jada Kiss, a part of the Locks, and then you get everything in that East Coast circuit at the time. Fabulous
Click
comes from there.
or
Tribe Called
Clips?
Quest. Clips is Virginia.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah,
Not
Clips is
Northeast. Yeah.
Virginia, and Clips is early 2000. I'm talking
Love
90s.
love
Talking
Clips.
90s.
Love
And then, of
Clips.
course,
Not enough respect
Mason.
for Clips. Yeah.
Right. And then Mason, then all these artists. Now, then you have the East Coast, West Coast hip hop beef.
Sure.
I believe somewhere in the mix, because that got really heated, right? That got incredibly heated in the
Snoop,
90s, race
Tupac, yeah.
riots, right? You got everything going on in Compton with all the riots that were going on there. It was insane. So they had to have a plant within the hip hop organization, which they did find in one Sean Diddy Combs. I'm talking the CIA.
Okay.
Why did he live after all these years? Biggie dies, Pac dies, Suge gets his life threatened numerous times.
Well, Suge Knight's a piece of shit.
Well, they're all pieces of shit, as we're coming to learn.
100%. Yeah, but Suge Knight's
So
been known as a piece of shit.
I'm going to continue my theory.
Please.
Then, as you start to get into the late 90s, early 2000s, these different things start to play. So, what do you got to do in order to wind this beef down and more people don't get killed and there's not more bloodshed? What do you got to do? You got to figure out a way to get rid of the figureheads of this East Coast, West Coast beef. So, what happens? Pac gets shot. Okay, dead. Few months later, boom, Biggie retaliation hit, dead. A lot of people want to know why Puffy wasn't in the car with Biggie. He went and got in another car. A lot of people speculate that maybe Diddy had something to do with it.
And
I don't
then he
believe
did
that. I
I'll Be
believe
Missing
that.
You, and it's really funny if that was the
Yeah,
case.
but I believe a lot of that was scheduled by Suge Knight and put on
Me
by
too.
Suge Knight in
Bad guy.
retaliation for Pac. So, as we start to escalate in, then you start to see all of hip hop start to come back together, East Coast, West Coast, and then Fab comes out, and then you get new age hip hop in the early 2000s, and Nelly and Chicago and Common and Kanye, and okay. But Puffy's always, to your point, remaining in a spotlight. Bad Boy, Make the Band, all that good shit starts coming out on MTV. I need you to go down to East Village and get me Cambodian breast milk. Okay. So you start to look at this and you start to peel back this puzzle. Somewhere at some point in time, he's also on the Epstein flight list. Right? The trafficking
very rich,
also goes
very
into
connected.
that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
On top of that, also do your homework. Who's also becoming a video vixen and also a part of Hype Williams' posse, who Hype Williams was directing all the music videos.
Cassie?
No, her name is Kamala Harris. So
Oh,
go
shut
and
the
look at
fuck
that
up.
shit. That's real. Here's some real talk on a
No, it
fucking
is
sports
that is
podcast
real, but that's
for you.
so funny. I did not
That
expect
is
that
real.
turn.
Does anybody realize that your future president-elect was in a fucking Hype Williams music video?
First off, Kamala.
Whatever the fuck her name is, but it's real. Go look that up. She's also
She
on those
was
flight
in
logs.
music videos. That's for sure. We've seen it. Hey, man. So is DT though. So if we're good to
Well,
watch.
they're all. But
Right.
here's what's going to happen.
Okay.
As this onion starts to be pulled back,
Mm-hmm. Just like ogres.
you're going to get less names out in the open, and it's all going to fall onto Puffy.
Mhm.
And he is essentially
like any
going to
Rico
take the
case.
downfall for the atrocities of others.
I mean, he
and
should. He's a
he
bad
is
guy too, though. But
they're all terrible people.
yeah.
He is going to be the pawn in this fictitious game of chess. He's a pawn.
That I believe that. 2 point for sure. I have no argument to that because I don't know anything about any of that shit like you do. Honestly, you just surprised me with your knowledge level of all of that because I don't have any of that in my brain.
I've watched plenty of documentaries and I've gone down tremendous rabbit holes.
I can see that. Thank you for the history lesson. I will have to do my research now.
Diddy is a CIA government plant. So was Suge Knight.
Probably
to
could
infiltrate the
be.
hip hop industry.
He's also a freak, and he's also a
weird motherfucker.
Serial assaulter, I guess, is what we learned today. Should we move on to football?
Let's talk about a little college football, shall we? I hope everybody enjoyed their conspiracy
That
theory
was
of the
good.
day.
That was good. That was extremely unexpected, Mike. But
What?
college football in a good way.
I know
In a
what
good
I
way.
know, bro.
No, in a great way. I loved that. That was my favorite thing maybe you've ever said on this. Was giving that because that was so well thought out. Again, don't know if I believe it because I don't know anything about it personally.
Oh, that's
but-
why it's a conspiracy theory, but you'll see.
Yeah.
Over time, he's going to go to jail for a long
Wait,
time.
hold on.
Now,
I wish I can rewind it because I would say allegedly, and then we would just go into it.
here, go ahead and put that in somewhere.
Yeah.
Allegedly, conspiracy Mike going to say this. So,
This is the
Do your
note at the
homework.
bottom, like the little star at the bottom. That's just like all of this goes under the allegedly category.
yes, know that the scariest 2 words that you'll ever hear, or 3 words you'll ever hear, is "we're from the government and we're here to help."
Yeah, I watched The Sopranos. Okay, college football, week 3. Week 3? We're in week 3. Technically,
It's
'cause
fucking week 3,
zero's-
Vince. If you're gonna count,
fucking week
if you're gonna
3.
count fucking week 0, I don't want to fucking hear about it. Okay?
Okay, week 3.
Fucking South Carolina, fucking lose it by 3 at the end of the fucking game. Fucking making me lose the
This-
fucking vig. I gotta go call Christopher.
Outside, good, very good. Outside of 2 games, outside of Georgia, Kentucky, and then the South Carolina LSU game, lots of blowouts this week, man. It was like the week
Sleepy
of
week.
blowouts. A lot of it made a lot of sense. The first one I want to bring up, because I was at a wedding and I was appalled at the score looking, because I was, you know how it goes when you're at a wedding during college football season. It's a Saturday. You're like, okay, I got to check the scores. Hopefully I can stream some shit, but I never really got the chance to. I look at the Tennessee Kent State score at halftime, and it was 65 to fucking 0. I'm like, they're about to
Almost
score
scored 100
150 on their ass. They're about to score 150 fucking points on their ass right now. And obviously they slowed it down in the second half, and Kent State is not a good fucking football team. But like, what's the fun of that? What do you do if you're calling a game and it's 65 to 0 at halftime and you're like, okay, how do I adjust what I'm doing here?
Well, you gotta look at Tennessee right now because they really haven't played anybody, and this kind of
like 'em, though.
Some of the,
I like him a lot.
everybody likes them.
Nico's good, bud.
Nico's very good, but you
He's
got to look
good.
at the gauntlet of people they're about to play here,
Well,
and they're gonna lose one of these games.
this is a argument that you can also make for Ole Miss, and you can make that argument for Ohio State, where you look at their schedule so far, and you're like, yeah, they are all very good, but like, they haven't played literally anybody, like anyone worth a shit.
SEC. Okay, so they play Chattanooga, NC State. One could say, all right,
Chattanooga
you
prior
play-
to Terrell Owens, don't you dare forget.
sure. And then you look at NC State, Mike Glennon. And then
Yep.
you look at Kent State, Julian
Like,
Edelman.
NC State, Russell Wilson.
So
right?
was Mike Glennon.
Russell Wilson, Glennon. Russell Wilson
Glennon, man.
was NC
Tell
State
you
to
what, man.
Wisconsin, correct? And I
Yeah.
tell you
Tell
what,
you
man.
what, man. Glennon, man. Got a neck for the NFL, man.
Well, they're playing Oklahomies though next week.
This game, I'm jacked for because this to me trap game. I think they're going into Norman to play
How do
a
you feel?
underrated team.
You
What?
you think the Sooners are underrated?
I do.
I'm in between on those guys right now.
I mean, they played a decent Houston team. That was a closer game than Comfort.
General
They played
Jackson Arnold doesn't wow me personally.
He's still young, man. He's a
He's
sophomore.
very young. But that's what I'm saying. But this is happening next week. Like, I think this is, to your point though, I think this is a like bread and butter. If Tennessee's good, they're going to be good this week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
love this game. I think this game is superior. I really enjoy this.
In the
I think
same
this is-
vein, SEC and Oklahoma, this is like their first SEC battle.
It's the first taste.
Yeah.
You wanted a piece of the pie.
Welcome.
Get a taste, cuz.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I think it could be like it could be interesting, man. I mean, I don't think Oklahoma's bad. I do think they deserve that 15 ranking, but I do think Tennessee's like a top 5 team right now in college football, in my personal opinion. I'm always Tennessee. I like Tennessee. Something about it. It
Any
always happens,
orange
and I know that.
team. Any orange team. Vince is an orange guy.
Dude, that Tennessee orange just tickles my fancy, man. I don't know what to say.
It does. It does. I mean, hey, Vince is an orange guy and a gold guy. Speaking of gold guy,
Can we
man,
talk
they
about
really
him?
responded. Yeah, they really responded against another Indiana faithful.
I'm kind of
right?
mad. I was watching it and they were so good against Purdue, who by all rights is better than NIU in my head, but I guess they're not because NIU is 23rd in the nation. By the way, NIU, great scheduling to beat Notre Dame and then have a bye week where they can just ride it out for another week. I have respect for that. 2 things. Riley Leonard, they realize he's not a good quarterback, so let him run
Yeah,
because
just
he's
run his
fast.
ass.
He's fast. He was running. Jeremiah Love running. Yeah, well, what was it at halftime? Like fucking 42-0 or something like that. And I was like, they obviously like, I can liken it to they play against NIU and they get blue balls and they can't go. And then this week they're like, all right, I've saved a lot up. Like, I gotta get it out.
Time to blow a load.
And they did it essentially to Purdue in the way of scoring 66-7 against them. Now, Purdue, not a great team. Defense shows up, secondary shows up. Riley Leonard doesn't make mistakes, and this is what can happen. I think they're properly at 17th in the nation. I don't know if they're any better than 17th in the nation. I've been hurt before, and I don't want to be hurt again, but, you know, you can't be mad at a win.
You played Purdue.
Right.
You blew your load against Purdue. Now,
Right.
I don't know if you blew such a load as those who graduate from Purdue feel the need to tell you that they went to Purdue.
I know.
But you blew a very
What do you do?
Purdue-y load.
Engineering?
Oh, no way. You went to Purdue? Tell me more.
What a concept.
So you're at Purdue, and then they go into the fucking master's program, and then you don't stop hearing about it.
I know.
So I
No
tell
thanks.
you, but God
Pass.
bless for education, right?
Mike,
That
we have
school has-
a new number 1 in the nation.
Texas, babe.
Brother. Speaking of orange. Brother. Texas, dude, is good. You see Arch Manning.
Yeah, dude,
Horns
they
down.
played
I get it.
UTSA.
I know,
don't
but
want it.
I'm not saying like, you know, look at them go. They beat UTSA. Did you see Arch Manning?
Yeah, he may be the fastest Manning that has ever lived.
Dude, seeing him run the ball, I'm like, and I saw
I didn't know that was possible.
Peyton Manning was talking about it, and then someone was like, he looks like Peyton Manning when he's at full speed. And he does. He's way faster than him, but the way he runs, he like has that like awkward Peyton Manning like hip thrust that he does usually. But like a Manning with speed is probably the most terrifying prospect that college or NFL football may ever experience.
Yeah, I think personally he may be the most gifted athlete of the Manning family. Now,
Supposedly Cooper was good, but we never got to see
Cooper
it.
was a wide receiver, and then he
Right,
got
so
his
he
neck
had to be
all jacked
fast.
up. Right. So I think he's got his dad's genetics, and then he learned how to play quarterback from his uncles, and he's
And
got
his grandpa.
all the and his grandpappy. Um, let's face it, the guy on Statcast hit 20 miles an hour running.
That ain't slow,
That's
buddy.
that's
That ain't
impressive.
slow. Yeah.
That is I wanna know what the fastest quarterback on the year is that's not named Manning, because I'll put money on it that their last name is Milrow or Ward.
Or or Dart, maybe.
Maybe Dart, yeah, but he
He's got
doesn't,
he's
he
got quick
runs.
little speed though. He's got acceleration,
He does. He's a very gifted athlete, Jackson Dart, and that's a Lane Kiffin boy for sure. So, overall, Texas may deserve it, but they need to play some more competition other
I
than
believe
Michigan.
they are deserving of one.
I think it's still Georgia, regardless of a very nail
Georgia?
biter win
And like we're
against.
talking
They
about
do this
blowouts, but
every year.
they got it's like one of two teams just really just get Georgia, and Kentucky's one of them.
But they see the difference between a Georgia and a Notre Dame in these
All
games.
right,
That
we can't compare the two. Notre Dame is
these
17th
games,
in the nation. Georgia's the
they're
second
a
best in the nation.
hey Vince, they were 1/7 in the nation. Let's
I never
just
said it
leave it
was
what it,
valid. I just said we're not going to apologize for it.
let's leave it to be what it's going to be, Vince. All
Yeah.
right. But the
13.
difference is between a Georgia program and a very overrated Notre Dame program, as we
Okay.
have all seen.
All right.
Wonder who called that, is during
Everybody,
these
every
games,
single person.
during these games that they are like, oh man, shit, Georgia right now is losing to Kentucky. They pull those games out
Yeah.
barely by a point, for example.
13
but
to 12 is bad.
Kentucky, I was confused as to what the hell Stoops was thinking on Kentucky, because he had a 4th and short
Yeah, man.
going into competitive territory, and you punt it.
Yeah, man. It didn't.
What?
That's one of those
Go-
like if
go
you're
all
trying to
balls.
beat if you're trying to
Go
beat the number one
all
team in the
balls.
nation, this isn't time to be conservative. He's probably like
No.
because like you can be conservative against a team you think you're gonna beat because you can throw your defense out there and you can stop them. If you're playing Georgia and you have an opportunity where it's 1 yard and you can go get more points, go get more points. You need to do that. Like this is a team that has learned how to win, has won before. Like Kentucky's got to go out there and do it. That was sad. I think he was playing not to lose instead of playing to win, and that generally happens. You end up losing when you play not to lose. So, yeah, Carson Beck, Heisman's rough to think about right now. That was a tough game for the man.
Cam Ward is continuously.
He's so good, dude. Shout out
he's sticking
Miami.
out, man.
Shout out my boy Sean, dude. Man loves
Cam
Ward.
Ward looks to be him. He's in a
Yeah.
program now that has weapons around him, and
they have a
was
game
maybe
manager. Do you see that? Miami's got a game clock manager now.
smart.
So they don't make a little whoopsie daisy again. This
Goes up to
year.
Cristobal, punches him in the dick.
Hey,
Need the
man,
fucking football.
You have
need
to
it.
need this out.
Need it. Need the ball, Cristobal. Or I'm getting you right in the
Cristobal.
balls.
Yeah, honestly. Smart man. Yeah, speaking of blowouts, Miami beats Ball State 62-0. What do you do when you win by that much, dude? Like, if you're in the booth, are you like, check out this tap dance I got? Like, there's no coming back from that shit.
I just can't understand. Like, give us an opportunity to broadcast one of those.
We would
games.
get kicked off. What do they call like the TV fucking FCC or whatever? The FCC would get rid of us immediately. You'd be like,
Not at
Sean
all.
Diddy Combs, lube, virgin hole, and they'd be like, kick him out.
CIA plant. He was a plant all along. I knew it
Yeah,
in the 90s.
We're immediately getting kicked off of live television for sure. Cam Ward,
Or we
I
could just-
love him. Love
Yeah,
Cam
It's
Ward.
wonderful. It's wonderful. We just want one slice at the apple, though. If anybody's hearing this from a major network, Big Ten,
Please.
whatever it is, we can be professional. Homie, I'm
To a point.
professional.
Yeah.
right? I work in corporate America.
Same.
I cross my T's and dot my lowercase J's.
Oh, I thought you were
I
gonna say
circle
fucking
back.
eyes. And I'm like, you can't say that.
I circle back. Okay. I look at things from 1,000-foot
Well,
lenses.
you can table
And
stuff and get back to it later.
not only that, Vince, but one thing I do best, due diligence.
Yeah, you gotta do your due
Worst word in
diligence.
business. Anybody who says I need to do my due diligence, you might as well just say
Miss
I'm a
me.
fucking idiot. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It's the word. Stop using that word. I'm just PSA right here. Stop using that word in business. Due diligence. Just throw my dick in a mailbox. I'll slam it 3 times.
Uno dos tres. I agree. Alabama Crimson Tide. Go to Madison, Wisconsin. Take a shit on Madison, Wisconsin, and leave. Jalen Milroe. I still don't know if he's good or not, dude.
He's very good.
Is he?
He has a lot of talent around him, but he's very good.
Is he a good quarterback or is he a good college quarterback?
He's a very good college quarterback. He's very
Yeah.
like right-handed Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
He's giving right-handed Tim Tebow, as the kids would say.
He's
these days.
giving right-handed.
What is that, by the way? Can we
I don't
talk
know.
about that for
You're the one that used it,
giving
brother.
giving
It's giving TiVo.
it's giving Tebow vibes, but like he's right-handed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's my key on that.
I think they are. All right, what's the ceiling for Alabama? Obviously, first year, no Nick Saban. Alabama Crimson Tide fans are happy if they get to the playoffs and win one game, or are they just national championship or die forever because Saban just
So you go from Saban to DeBoer,
yeah,
who took a Washington team that nobody thought would make it to a natty,
right.
takes him to a natty.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best succession plan ever. Like he's perfect. He's
I
perfect.
agree, but again,
it's
like
a wonderful hire.
where are the expectations?
Dude, they're Alabama.
They are there
They're
to win. They want to win the whole
It's
thing
natty
every
or
time.
bust. It's natty or you suck.
They're not winning one this year, right?
We'll see.
I
Georgia
can't
may lose
see
to him in the
it.
playoffs again or the SEC championship because chances are, if I'm a betting man, the SEC championship is Georgia and Bama once again. Newsflash.
We learned this week that we're not betting men.
Oh, I'm fucking Eddie Mush lately.
I'm
Anything I
mush.
throw money down on, I might as well just like go light my money on
Fade
fire.
me away. I'm with you. Okay. Mississippi State pulls a Notre Dame. Played Toledo, $1.25 million, come into our place. They lose 41-17 against
Go
Toledo.
Rockets, babe. Go Rockets.
SEC team Mississippi State, they like weirdly have expectations every year, but they kind of know that they're not like upper echelon SEC. It's very weird, the Mississippi State thing to me. You can't come back from this. Like, I know Notre
No.
Dame lost, but Notre Dame lost a game and they didn't get doubled up. 41-17 is crazy, dude.
It's a lot of points to lose to
Yeah.
that team.
Yeah.
I mean, but
24.
granted though, you look at who they've played. Arizona State pumped them. Ole Miss played them last year.
Yeah.
And they played Eastern Kentucky. So if you look at it, if ASU is beating you,
Yeah, you're probably in a
man,
bad spot. Hey,
they're
but they have
probably not very good.
They have a comeback game next week because they're playing fucking Florida, and you want to know who sucks? Florida Gators suck. What is going on, man?
Fire their head coach already. He gone. Don't even know his name.
Is he
RIP to
gone?
that guy. Oh yeah, gone.
Oh, I didn't even see that. What's his buyout?
Oh, a lot of money.
It
That's
has
the
to be
best
crazy.
job in the world.
Billy
That is the
Napier,
best.
excuse me. That happened 11 hours
Gone.
ago. Yeah.
Gone. How you
Urban
doing?
Meyer?
Keep it moving. No shot.
Urban Meyer returned to Gainesville?
If you're smart, know what you do?
Urban Meyer. Yeah.
And you heard it on this podcast first.
Okay.
If you want to win in Florida, you know who you go pick? Who I think would be a tremendous college football coach? If he wants the smoke. Matt Nagy.
Whoa.
He would
Didn't
be an
expect that.
amazing college
Give
football
me
coach.
some reason as to why.
Because front facing, you're like, I really like this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Every press conference Matt Nagy gave, you were like, I like him.
If I dated his daughter, I would not be afraid to meet him.
No.
Yeah.
And he's a nice guy, good Midwestern boy, played quarterback, knows his X's and O's well enough to run an offense. In college, you can get away more with knowing one side of the football than the other.
Yeah.
I think it would be a tremendous pick. But once again, when you're the offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs, you have Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
I want that job. That's cushy. That's like, I'm going to go win Super Bowls and make millions and live in the Midwest. I'm cool.
I got the buyout, Mike. You ready?
What's the buyout?
$27.99 million.
We're in the wrong business.
Mitigates with each game he plays, and goddamn it, he did not coach a lot of games for Florida in his tenure there. So yeah, the boosters raised money to make enough money to fucking get rid of him. Football in Florida, with the exception of Miami and I guess UCF and USF, not great because Tallahassee's having a hard time right now too. And that guy still hasn't eaten shit.
Or look at maybe the Florida Gator wet dream, right? Tim Tebow decides, I'm going to go be a head coach. Brings Urban with him to be an advisor.
No, dude. I would get so
You
annoyed
got
with him
a
being like,
scumbag and you got football Jesus. Boom,
yeah,
done.
just be like, this win is a gift from God. And I'd be like, fuck off respectfully. Dude, I can't take Tim Tebow again. They overdid it to hell. Florida State loses to Memphis at home. Florida State, they haven't won a game this year, have they?
No, they have not. They're awful.
What do you do if you're Florida State, Mike? Dude, where were they ranked at the beginning of the year?
Blow it up. They were ranked like 4th, 5th.
Yeah.
DJ Ugalele was supposed to be the guy.
Everybody knows he's not good, right?
No.
Well, now
can't throw the football. Great athlete, can't throw the football.
He's been not good.
Yeah.
Like since
really
Trevor Lawrence has been in the league now for what, 5 years?
Mm-hmm. And DJ's been there as long as Trevor's been. Yeah, so
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I think this is his 6th year of eligibility because this is his last year of eligibility. So
I pray that he can make it to October 5th as a starting quarterback for that team, so he goes back to Clemson and they have a fun little reunite. Okay, one more game that I got, and then we can talk about the top 25. Or you got, rather. LSU, South Carolina?
This game was electric.
Yeah.
It went down to the bitter end. They're playing at South Carolina.
Yeah.
Brian Kelly, crying Brian, doing his thing.
I'm so glad he's not my coach. So glad.
Well, hey, Vince, he loses the big games. And
I know. He would have won that game. I get it. But just Brian Kelly doing media, Brian Kelly, like, acting like he's the best thing since sliced bread. I do not miss that. He annoys the fucking piss out of me, Brian Kelly.
He's the man.
No, he's not. For who? He's whose man?
He's the man. In his own mind, Vince, and left like a thief in the night from
he
South
loves his family, and that's all that matters.
He loves his family, but this game went down to the very bitter end. They iced the kicker with 6 seconds left. It was 36-33. South Carolina got in a field goal range. They have a quarterback with glasses. You want to talk about a mind fuck? And field goal kicker comes out, hits a practice shot. They ice him during the middle of the kick.
Yep.
He hooks it wide left. All right, now it's real time. Got to hit it. Hooks it wide right. Poor guy.
Yeah.
It was like a 48-yarder. In college, those are so hard.
Kicking has become so, like, second nature in the NFL now that if you want to watch pressure kicking, it's in college now. You have to look for it.
Yeah.
I wanted South Carolina to win that.
And you're like, oh, God, oh, God,
Yeah.
oh, God, oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the stadium pulse when you meet a girl with a tapestry on her wall, you know? You're just shaking. You're like, oh, no. What have I gotten myself into?
Oh, man. She wears those really weird pants, doesn't she?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's just like you could look at all that movement. South Carolina, I wanted to see Columbia go crazy. I don't think LSU's that good. I think they're just about equal with Notre Dame now, and I think the AP poll kind of agrees with that. That's sad. That stinks. LSU just comes in the fourth quarter, takes care of business, boom, boom, wins by 3. I hate that. That's all I have to say about that.
Well, it was a very close game, Vince. So at least
I
you could
know.
say that LSU is not that good of a football team. And when they do play somebody real, like a Bama, like a Georgia, like an Ole Miss, they're probably going to get smoked.
Like a USC, don't forget.
So,
I
well, hey, fight on.
I'm telling you. No
Fight
hater
on.
Vince here. No hater Vince here.
Fight on.
Looking at the AP poll, a lot has changed since week 1, for sure. Texas, Georgia, Ohio State. We kind of expected that in some way, shape, or form. Ohio State, Ole Miss, Texas. All within the or Tennessee, excuse me. All within the top 6. All haven't played anybody. Which one of the 3 of them are going to get kicked out of that top 6?
It's still so early that, like,
That's
let's
why I'm
face it.
asking. We're a fucking podcast, Mike. We got to ask these questions.
You got to ask the questions. Top 6, I feel like Tennessee, in my opinion, is bound to fall.
Because of next week's matchup, yeah?
That and the next 3 games, they have a Florida team that's going to be motivated. You know, usually after a team loses
Come
a head
on.
coach,
Oh, I guess
you-
that's
you
true. All
have
right,
some-
that's a good point. That's a good point.
I feel like they're just going to lose a game that they shouldn't. One could also argue, you know, Missouri probably doesn't have much business being
They're
in
fucking pretty
that.
good, dude. It's weird how good Missouri
Yeah, they were
is.
losing to Boston College basically all the first half, and then they woke up.
Boston College pretty good this year, though. Boston College had
Yeah,
kind of
but
a
they're
like a
still
late
Boston
late
college.
late 2000s like Boston College resurgence. It kind of feels that way right now. Like next thing you know, one of these players is going to pee on an elderly lady in an airplane, you know? Yeah, if you listen to the
Those
show,
are
you
my-
get that.
Those are my 2 teams. I don't know what Oregon's doing at 9. I don't even know how they get that. I don't. Because why? They pumped
People
Oregon
really
State.
like Dylan, dude. Or
I don't understand. They should be more of a 12 or a 13 than they are a 9. I think that's
Yeah.
egregious.
people really like him. Can we talk about another Dylan too?
Sure.
You see Rayola this last week? You see a celebration post?
Can we talk about how Pat Mahomes has to be like the happiest person ever that he has a new little brother?
Yeah, 100%. He replaced Jackson. We got to be jacked. But this is fucking weird now, dude. This is getting weird. I know last week you're like, oh, he's, mirroring a legend or whatever. That's all
It's his
fine and
favorite
dandy.
player.
But it's
He's a
it's
kid.
No, he's not. He's not that young.
He's
This is-
19.
I know, but still, like Pat Mahomes is 29. He's 10 years older than him. You gotta stop. Like everything he's doing is mirror image.
He likes it.
It's so weird, dude. Come on.
It's a little cringy.
It
Everybody knows, but
is.
be you, man. You know, if that's
Exactly.
your thing, then
No, exactly. Be you, not Patrick Mahomes. Don't be Patrick Mahomes.
he
you
likes
fucking
him,
weirdo.
Vince. He likes to wear the
You're
headband.
treating him like he's a
and-
fucking dog in a kennel. Like it's okay. He's a cutie. Like he's the quarterback of a Big Ten team.
He's
What are you
really
doing?
fucking good. Like if the
Yeah.
play didn't mirror up to that,
Oh,
of
you would hate
a
him. I
stud,
know
you'd
you.
hate
You would
him.
hate him. Yeah.
If he was losing every week, you'd hate him even more. But
Well,
he's
I
going
guess-
out there throwing dimes.
I'm inclined to like this guy. I do like this guy. I like when Nebraska's good. It's been a long time since Nebraska's been good. It just freaks me out. He's got the same haircut. He's got the same facial hair. He was doing the same warm-ups last week, and then he walks out and does the Patrick Mahomes celebration. I'm like, make up a celebration. Have a goofy little time and do something for yourself this time, man.
It's a trend. He's going with the trend, Vince. You
He's
know,
the
wearing
only one following the trend, dude.
He likes it.
I've never seen you
listen,
get so soft on a guy.
I
Why are you so
believe
soft
I
on
want to
him?
light him up so bad, but I like
I
him. I
don't
think
get
he's a
it.
good kid.
Me
and
too.
he
That's why I think it's
wins.
weird.
And I really like what Matt Rule's doing in Nebraska. I've been calling it all
Same.
offseason that this team is going to surprise a lot of people for many reasons they are. A
Yeah.
lot of it is due to their quarterback just absolutely mirroring that of Patrick Mahomes. And then you got Kermit the Frog Patrick out there talking about, oh, yeah, I used to do that all the time. And
Yeah, dude, if he starts talking like him, we're gonna have a really bad problem.
that'd be hysterical if his next press conference, he's like, well, we did our very best.
We went
and
out there and Travis told me he wanted the ball
our-
and I threw him the ball.
We did our very best. And
Did you hear why he wears 15?
why?
Because he's a big Tim Tebow fan. Okay, bud.
No shot.
Yeah, that's what he said. Like, okay, bud. You like
Well,
Tim Tebow.
It would be more egregious if he wore number 5 because Patty
Right,
Mahomes was
'cause
number
his
5 at
college
Texas
number.
Tech.
Yeah.
So I like what they're doing. His dad's the offensive line coach.
Yeah.
I think he's just letting him lean into it.
I
If that's
think
what gets
he's
done,
good. I like him.
he's
I like
better
that
than good.
team. I find this to be fucking weird. Personally.
Vince, let's put it this way. If Dylan Raiola was coming out this year of the NFL to the NFL draft,
Yeah.
he'd be the first quarterback taken.
Just because he looks like him?
No, because he also plays like him.
A little bit.
The sidearm throws, the athleticism, throwing
Yeah,
on the
that's what- yeah.
run, the ad lib stuff, bouncing in and out of the pocket,
I will
cannon of an
subscribe.
arm.
I will subscribe and always subscribe to the Pat Mahomes is just as much his talent as Andy Reid's disciple. I believe that till I'm blue in the face. Anything else on this AP top 25 that you want to talk about?
No, let's talk about our favorite matchups this week, though, and then we'll move on.
Let's do it. You want to start
I got
off,
some-
Mike? What are you looking at?
My favorite matchup this week is the most homer shit ever, but go USC, go Trojans. We
Yeah.
have a road game in Ann Arbor where we go play a Michigan
Dude,
team that's
Michigan
trying to find its
fucking
identity.
sucks, dude. They're so bad.
They're not
It's-
good.
It's
They-
so funny
like I
they've
said,
gotten so bad.
They're struggling to find their identity. They lost 17 seniors.
Their head coach, sanctions,
Their head
all
coach,
of it. There's no
sanctions,
reason they should be
You
good.
name
Yeah.
it. They're just not a very good football team right now.
Yeah.
I don't believe that this game is going to be a blowout. We might be surprised. But if USC, they have the ability to create potentially, just potentially, a new pipeline for themselves in this game. And let's talk about why. So you're going to go from SoCal to Ann Arbor, basically opposite sides of the country.
Middle September, though.
Sure. Not talking about the weather. I'm talking about if I'm a recruit and I'm thinking about where do I want to go play. Historically, USC, as we all know, hasn't been good in defense in 20 years since Pete Carroll.
I don't know if their
Now-
secondaries knows how to tackle still. I would like to see
We
that.
know how to, we're getting there.
Their line
this-
can tackle.
If Lincoln Riley has a defense, this has always been the question. What would he do with the defense? Well, it's scaring the shit out of almost having a defense, Vince.
Well,
and
it's
I
almost
think
like he's
we're
in
on a
charge of it, so
path.
he probably should have fucking had one already. I know
You
I'm not
think-
being a hater, but I'm just saying, like,
You're
in
hating.
general,
You're hating a little.
like a little bit, like I would any team. It's like Lincoln Riley. This is like a litmus test because Michigan's going to be defense based. They officially committed to Alex Orgy, so we're not going back and forth, like snip, snap, like Michael Scott in The Office. We're not doing that anymore with the quarterback. I think this is going to be like a USC defense showdown. Let's see him win again.
I think Miller Moss is still going to ball out.
I think he's really good. I believe that he's really good.
I think we're going to run the football. I think we're going to control the line of scrimmage. And we're going to walk out of Ann Arbor with a W. Final score
I
24-17 USC. Fight
I'm
on.
inclined to believe, and I'd almost inclined to believe that they're going to beat him by more, just given how fucking bad Texas just gave him a
Really?
shellacking. Yeah.
But that's
I don't-
Texas. I'm not going to say my team is Texas. They are not
No,
Texas.
you're not for sure. But I do think Michigan is not good. I really don't think so. I don't think Alex Orgy's a good quarterback. I don't think either of those guys are good quarterbacks. I think they're going to have a hard time scoring. if USC's defense is as improved as I believe that they are.
They're also young on the Michigan side, and
Very.
JJ McCarthy had 2 years to figure it out. These
100%.
guys are coming in kind of cold.
And he had
Miller
a Blake
Moss
Corum.
is, yeah.
Blake Corum's
Miller
very
Moss
good.
is in a scenario where he's waited his turn and now he's balling. So it's a game I'm looking forward to. It's the joy of the Big Ten being now basically coast to coast.
Yeah.
Can we talk about something, Vince, that the Pac-12 is back? We
I forgot
totally
about that.
come on. The
I forgot
Pac-12 is
about
back.
that.
Boise State, Colorado State,
Yeah.
Oregon State, Washington State.
I think it's cool. We'll see how it goes. They're gonna be like equivalent to what? Mountain West? What are we looking at right now?
Do you think a sleepy little team, maybe like U of A, decides to join? Maybe. Do you think
You think so?
maybe
They don't want to be in the
North?
Big 12 anymore?
I don't know. Maybe North Dakota State says, "I'll jump in."
Right. I'm thinking that it's just gonna be like conference rejects, which is fine. But they're not gonna be Power 5. They already aren't Power 5.
No, they haven't been in a long time. I
Yeah.
just think it's neat that it's coming back. What is
I
one of
agree.
your favorite
100%.
games this upcoming Saturday, Vince?
I got a couple. Utah's always a fun college football team for me. They gave
Great
everybody
defense.
fits. Their defense gave everybody fits last year. Like there was Taylor's oldest time, Caleb Williams' hardest games against Utah. Like that was always the talk. Oklahoma State, I never really know where to rank them. They're either way better in my head or way worse, but they're never in the middle where they usually are. So that'll be a fun matchup. As a Midwestern boy, Dylan Raiola. Illinois walks in there. Illinois is sitting ranked right now. I don't believe they should be ranked. If Nebraska wants to move up on the rankings and they end up beating Illinois convincingly in Nebraska, I think that'll be badass. But it would be cool to see a close game there. And then finally, the Florida matchup. South Florida might be the second best Florida team in the state right now.
Yeah,
And
that's sad.
I know
in so many
UCF is
ways.
good, but it is sad. I like watching Miami play. So that's appointment television for me right now. I would like to see how much they end up running it up on South Florida because I do think Miami could probably beat Florida State and Florida by more than they could beat South Florida right now. Because South Florida's like a fun little frisky team.
Appointment TV for me. I like Friday night. I like Illinois, Nebraska. I think
Yeah, it's so fun.
that's going to be Riola's real test. They've
That's what I'm
played
saying.
great all year. They beat Kansas, big program. That
Bro,
has
kick
a lot of
Illinois
eyes.
out of the poll. Kick them out of the top 25. Just get them out of there.
Why?
No, I'm saying like Nebraska, like kick them out. Beat them by so much, it's like get the fuck out of here.
I hate to say it. I'm kind of rooting for U of I.
Me
Because
too.
I'm an
I'm just,
underdog kind of guy.
but this is a prove it game for Nebraska, is what I'm
You
saying.
know what I would love seeing? I would love seeing UCLA beating LSU. I think that'd be amazing.
At that point, LSU's frauds, though, right?
Gotta be.
Because they almost lost this week, like we talked about.
But to me, the biggest game of the weekend to see a barometer, if they're real or not real, is this Tennessee OU game. This game, they're
this is
going
top tier.
into OU. They're playing a game. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun to watch. I'm excited.
I think Nico's so good. I think he's
He's
good.
but he hasn't played anybody.
I
And
know.
he's going
and
to
this
go
is-
up against a Venables defense that's going to throw a bunch of different looks at him, and he's going to have to throw the fucking football
This is what I'm
into
saying.
tight windows.
I think he's so good, and we haven't seen anything that proves he's so good. And this is going to be that litmus test. Is he so good, or does he still need to learn? That's what we're going to see out of this game. Lots of fun games.
Can't wait for Saturday.
Hopefully there isn't 50 blowouts again. I made a section in this podcast called MLB NBA Other because we can just kind of package everything else around football. I think that's fine. You went to New York and you went to the Bronx and you went into the house that Ruth built kind of junior, but it looked fucking sick. So I want your review on that. How was it?
So let me give you a rundown. Stayed out the night before until the same day we were going to the game. Was on very minimal sleep. Potentially still intoxicated. It was a bachelor party. We had a
Bachelor
great
party,
time.
Mike.
Bachelor party Mike. So good version of Mike. Stayed out till 4 a.m. Had a hoot. Woke up. Said, all right, let's get the boots on the ground. Let's get it moving. Got ready. Got a coffee. I said, let's get to this fucking game.
Hair of the dog.
We go. Oh, immediate. Got the hair of the dog. Got on the subway to the Bronx. About a 30-minute ride from Soho. Not bad. All of us were a lot of movement on that train. A lot of heavy breathing and potential vomit.
Oh, lots of Italians, lots of sweat.
Yeah, a lot of sweat. It was good. It was busy. So I walk out of the subway station and I'm trying to get my bearings. I look to the right. Boom. Yankee Stadium. I'm like, okay, that's fucking cool. I'm like, all right, we got to go to stands. Everybody's like, go to stands, go to stands, go to stands, go to stands. I'm like, what stands? They're like, it's like the resident bar of Yankee fans. That's where you go. And it's a block away from the stadium. It's like the Cubby Bear.
Yeah.
So, or Murphy's Bleachers or whatever you would want to call it.
Yeah.
So you go to stands and you think there's a line out the door to like get in. No. That's the line that's just out the door.
It's
to
just outside.
Try to walk in. Like it slammed. And there's seatings outside and inside, and they're playing Boston, so tensions are high. You got Boston jersey, you got Yankee jersey, and you just feel as if I'm a part. I don't know what I'm a part of, but I'm
Of
a
like
part of something.
history, of like, this is this is something we've heard about since we were little. This is like the most feared rivalry maybe in sports. Like this is a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So you go and you're like, okay, cool. And you go and you get a drink and you're going, and then the attitudes are, what do you want? Or like that. Boom. Okay. You got cash? Yeah, I got cash. Boom. Here. So can't give you full change. That's fine. Just give me the money back. Cool. And you can barely move. And then you just kind of soak it all in and you keep going. What I thought was interesting was right like 20 minutes before game time, they start putting on Sweet Caroline. And they're playing music throughout. And you hear all these Yankee fans go, boo.
Yeah.
Boo. Fuck Sweet Caroline.
Turn this shit off.
They switch it to New York, New York by Sinatra.
Spreading
And
the
I'm
news.
like singing along these little town blues. I was in my element. I'm like, this is awesome. You got every Gina and Marie and all these Italian girls in hoops walking around with potty mouths. It's fantastic. It was great. Then you get into the game.
With potty mouths or with potty mouths? Talking Italian
potty
Boston?
mouths. No, not like God.
know.
But every other word out of their mouth is F this, and it was great. A wonderful time. A lot of Anthony's, a lot of Michaels, a lot of Vinny's. Like I went to call out to Vince,
And
the other Vince of the friend group.
Yeah.
And three people turned around. I'm like, that tracks. So walking into the game is an event in itself. It's slammed. I mean, we were in a line for 30 minutes to get into the game. It was that busy.
Yeah.
Sell out. Sat in Judge Land. We were in right field area.
How short does that fence look?
It is. You get in and you're like, wow, it's small.
It looks small, yeah.
It is small, like 318 to left field, and then
That's
right
such
field
bullshit.
320, and you're like, oh no shit, why people hit so many home runs here.
Yeah.
The first half of the game, Garrett Cole was on the bump. He pitched lights out.
You saw
four,
him
and then
hit
just got
Devers.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a big thing.
And then after that, it
I
just
didn't
went
realize that
downhill.
till now. Yeah.
Yeah, it just went downhill after that. And then Boston woke up. Tyler O'Neill 0 for 4. Aaron Judge 0 for 4.
Oh, boo.
Rizzo 0 for 3. The Yankees could not get it going. And Boston had everybody else on that team hitting. So the game was kind of done by the bottom of 7. We sat through, take me out to the ball game and God bless America. It was really neat because they brought out a World War II veteran who's
Cool.
from New York and he was 96 years old.
Mm.
Like
You
that's a
have to be
true
in World War II at this point. That was a long time
that's
ago.
an American hero right there. I'm like,
Yeah.
could you imagine like your whole life living in New York, you go over the pond, you fight the good fight, you come back and now you're in Yankee Stadium with maybe years left, and this is like the highest point you've probably had in many years. It's
Yeah.
kind of sad, but then again, it's really cool.
Yeah.
So
Most people don't get there.
no, and it was a beautiful moment. And then they played New York again, and then we were like, "All right, you want to go drink more?" We were like, "Yep."
Yep.
And then we went to a place called Billy's, which is a riot.
Okay.
Billy's was one of the coolest bars I've been to. Massive, larger than Old Crow. The only thing I had to compare it to is Old Crow, but they didn't play country music. They just warp house music in New York. The one thing I love about the place, there's
Yeah.
not like these fake Midwest girls and be like, I love Luke Combs. It's
Yeah.
like,
Put
no,
on
no, no.
Morgan Wallen.
It's like Gina Marie's and there's just Mao P and Dom Dalla. And I'm like, this is cool. This is my element. I get this. And yeah, man, it was a cool time. Met a kid who produces house music. Yeah, check him out. His name is Gen Pop, like general population. That's his DJ name. I'm like, that's kind of cool that your name is Gen Pop. So shout out to Gen Pop. Good kid. Like that guy. But all in all, what a great trip, man. I would go back to Yankee Stadium. Like I said, it was difficult. I don't like the Yankees. Historically dislike the Yankees franchise. Do not like them. But boy, you go there and you really kind of fall in love with it. And you're like, I go back here in 3 seconds. So that was good old Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Got goosebumps. It was wonderful. Definitely a bucket list item that I got to check off.
I muted myself again.
He's back, people.
That's awesome. I'm jealous. I
You
would
could
love
have
to go.
came, Vince. You could
I
have
know.
fucking came.
I couldn't have, but I could have,
Know what it means, Vince? Know what it means? Just next baseball season. Know where we got to start our year?
Going to the Bronx, baby.
We're going to the Bronx, man. Let's book it now.
We'll talk about baseball next week as the series winds down. I have one statistic for you, Mike.
Okay.
This is my favorite statistic. The record I'm talking about today is 364 and 395.
What is
That record, you ask, is the current record of the entire AL Central. 31 games under 500. The fun part about that is every single team except for one in the AL Central is above 500. So all that's doing is tearing down one team that's 36 and 116 now. I think they actually just lost. It might be 117. 4 more games, tie the record. That team is Chicago White Sox. That's all we have to talk about them. They fucking suck ass. And I almost hope that they get that record now just so this season wasn't a total wash.
At least they can make fun of it.
Right.
Hey, they won 2 games.
Yeah.
They pulled out the old
2 in a row. What a concept.
They pulled out the old 2 in a row and the quote from Major League. We won 1 today. If we win 1 tomorrow, that's 3 wins in a row. It's called a winning streak.
Winning streak. Yeah.
And they didn't get the winning streak, so.
Nope. And they can't. Big news in the NBA world today, Mike. World-shattering news. Adrian Wojnarowski is officially out of the Woj bomb game, out of the scoop game, out of the free agency game. Adrian Wojnarowski was the king of the NBA until Shams Charania comes in. We're talking rivalries. We're talking Yankees, Red Sox. We're talking Bears, Packers. We're talking Woj versus Shams, dude. And now he's gone. Part of me feels like being a Twitter boy. I'm sad that this day is happening because I liked when they were just dueling to see who's the first one to release something. Like, this is the classic, like, guy doesn't know he's traded until Wojnarowski posts about it. Like, that level of shit. And we're not going to get that anymore, unfortunately.
Somebody else will take the slot, of course. That's usually how it
Yeah,
works.
but he
And
doesn't have the connections of Woj, dude.
he lost his step, Vince. He lost
Little
his
bit.
step, and Sharami, whatever the fungal his name
Shams
was,
Charania, dude. Yeah.
the same guy who Kay Adams said they'd make cool babies. I'm like,
They
yo,
probably would. That'd be a pretty
whoa,
baby.
whoa,
He
whoa,
moves on from being the scoop man to the general manager of the St. Bonaventure Bonnies men's basketball team. So
huh?
he moves to be the GM of St. Bonaventure.
What is that?
It's a university.
Oh, how are
Yeah.
you the GM of a college
See,
basketball
that's the thing. I
team?
saw general manager and I was like, I didn't know that job exists.
So you're not an athletic director. You're not a head coach. You're a
He is
GM.
the general manager.
Sounds like a cush gig.
A little bit. I mean, that's what happens when you're the king of the scoop game for a while. So shout out Woj. Great career.
Okay,
Shams.
I'm happy we got that over with.
Shams Chicago boy. Shams is the fucking man. NFL?
Let's talk about things people want to hear.
National Football League.
Da 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 da
Week.
da da da.
Bum bum.
Da 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 da.
Ba wah wah wah.
Ba da 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 ba ba da da.
Ba ba da da.
Ba da 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 da. All right.
Thank you.
Well, Vince,
Week
be here all week.
Week 2 in the books.
In the books.
For those of you that don't join us every week, or this might be your first week, we go through every game, we talk about every game, and then we pick every game for the next week. It's that simple. From the top, Bills Dolphins. A man almost died.
On his own account.
You want to know who
He
almost
coulda
killed
just
him?
the guy who died.
The guy who died. Yeah, it's like full circle.
Full circle. DeMar
Yeah.
Hamlin standing on, and you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
This Matrix is real.
From dead to killer. Who would have thought?
He didn't really like hit him that hard. Just
Uh-uh.
Tua's a dumbass. He had the first down. Just get down.
Tua needs to learn how to not get hit.
He does it to himself, and then like
He
he's like
does.
sitting there like radio,
Yeah.
and it's like, and like, oh man, poor guy. You feel bad, but then again, you kind of don't.
Like, he's a gamer, 100%. He's been a
Get it.
gamer. Like, he goes
Get
out
it.
there, he's like, I'm gonna fucking do this shit. I don't care what happens to me. It's come to a point where he needs to care about what happens to him a little bit because he's getting murdered, decimated, to the point where after the game, it was like, hey, should Tua retire from the NFL? Because this many concussions is eventually going to catch up to you. I am a little scared for the man. And they had a bad game. The Buffalo Bills came in and they shat all over him. You and I placed a bet for Josh Allen 300 plus because I gave you a tip that the last 4 times that Josh Allen played the Dolphins, he threw for over 300. He threw for 139 yards this game. So far and still, offense in the NFL is historically low in the first 2 weeks of the season. So sorry about that, Scoop. Mush me, fade me, whatever you may need. But yeah, the Dolphins didn't look good at home against the Bills. The Bills kind of feel like they got a little bit of fury, especially second quarter.
They look to be playing kind of pissed off, and I dig it. Amir Shakir or whatever is Shakir.
Khalil
he's a
Shakir, yeah.
dog.
Khalil
Khalil Shakir is a dog. Keon Coleman, maybe it. And then if you look at it, wow. The brother of one, what's his name? Running back.
You talking about Dalvin Cook's brother, James?
James Cook, man, had
Yeah.
a day. 3 touchdowns, 100+ yards on the ground. Looked great.
Yeah. It was a shame playing against him in fantasy. I will say that. That was my demise this week, unfortunately. Bills take this one. Dolphins moving on with Skylar Thompson? Because Tua's on IR now.
I guess that's what you're going to have to do. You don't have much of a choice, do you?
They might need to think about bringing up a guy, at least in the next couple of years, to be a constant backup because I don't see these injuries stopping.
Well, Tua needs to make a decision whether or not he wants to be a vegetable by the time he's 50 or sitting in
Yeah.
a press box. So
Well, some guy posted a tweet that was like, Tua's great. He's a gamer, blah, blah, blah. He needs to take that helmet off and hang it up. And then some guy was like, if he took a helmet off, he would get way more concussions. And I loved that shit more than anything. He's like, he should keep his helmet on. Yeah,
Nate,
no, I know. He needs to figure out how to get hit. He needs to figure out how to get down and not get decimated every time he gets hit. Like, he's not a big dude, and he's clearly concussion prone. And the more concussions you get, the more likely you're about to get more of them. So he needs to fucking chill out, get down, don't get hit in the head all the time.
sound advice from Reverend Vince, everyone.
Go
Let's
ahead,
talk
Jeff.
about the next game. Let's talk about the next game
Yeah.
here.
49ers frauds. Some are
I
saying.
don't know. I don't know. Best team in the NFC North right now, undefeated.
Only one of
Sammy
them.
D, Sam D,
Dude, he's good.
laying down some D.
He's good.
17
Justin
to
Jefferson has to be happy.
26, 268 yards, 2 tutties, 1 pick. Looking like an absolute dog out there. Justin
He's
Jefferson,
good.
4 receptions, buck 33, 1 tutty. Man, and to think that they don't have Jordan Addison, and to think that they don't have their starting tight end, whose name precedes me at this moment,
TJ Hawkinson.
Hawkinson. Man, they look great. And
You want
I
to know
think
who
Sam D
wishes?
is
You want to know who wishes they had Sam Darnold?
the Bears.
Carolina Panthers. All right, regardless.
And they had him. They had him
I
in the
know.
building.
I know, and god damn it, looks like Sam Darnold, that 7-year bump or whatever the fuck we're calling it, is working out for him.
7-year itch, looking like an absolute dog. Top
Minnesota
we kept
loses
saying Minnesota could be a dark horse team this year.
loses Daniil Hunter, brings in Aaron Jones. Ty Chandler has a pretty good game, and suddenly Minnesota is the best team in the NFC North. Who would have thunk? And 49ers, you're going to lose a couple. Jordan Mason still looks like Walter Payton. It is what it is. Should we talk about the next game? This is
Let's
the
talk
first
about the
game
next
that we disagreed in. I got the first of this grunge match. Also, we didn't say this beforehand. Mike and I, surprise, surprise, tied
Tied again.
6-10. We sucked this week. All of the upsets that happened, we didn't expect. Like back and forth, 6-10. Look at us go. Patriots Seahawks goes into overtime. You pick Patriots, I pick Seahawks. It really was a toss up. Seahawks end up winning by 3. Patriots 1-1. Seahawks 2-0 on the year.
Michael McDonald.
Michael McDonald.
I mean, I can't forget what's the score anymore. I mean, you gotta love it.
Yeah.
You gotta love it.
Why are the
Good for
Patriots
him.
like weirdly good? I know they
They
lost.
play
this, but, like,
defense. They protect the football. They control the line of scrimmage. That's why they're weirdly good.
Jacoby
They
Brissett
stick to
doesn't
basics.
make mistakes.
Over under week 10 Drake May is in. I don't know. I wonder.
I don't know. Like, what are they doing with him right now? Are they just like, hey, we want to make sure that he's ready to play? Like, if they're playing at this caliber, bringing in Drake May is going to be a nuisance almost, because it's like rookie quarterback has to earn his stripes. And he's going to make mistakes. Like, you almost rather keep the guy that's not going to fuck you over.
Well, you keep the guy who keeps you in games, and Ramondre Stevenson running as if he's,
He's the fucking
got a
man.
bounty out for him. The
Thank
man's just sick.
Love him.
He's sick. You got to love the way he's playing. And their defense is always going to be sound. They know what they're doing. It's going to be a fun team to watch, I think, in that division. They may surprise some people. But, hey, if Drake May is what he's supposed to be, they might be better than people think in the next 2 years.
Well, one thing we have learned about rookie quarterbacks this year is that what they're supposed to be and what they are may not show right away. So
Historically,
uh,
the worst numbers ever for any rookie class coming out in the modern
and I
Super
think
Bowl
the
era.
most starting week 1 at 2, right? Or 3? 3 with Bo
Daniels,
Nix.
Caleb,
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix, who Bo Nix looked like he was like a deer in headlights.
Yeah, we'll get there. Speaking of rookie quarterbacks, Jaden Daniel, excuse me. First win of his career. Okay game. Not crazy
Kept
good.
him in. Kept him in.
You
Didn't
wanna
make
know who
mistakes. Didn't
sucks?
turn the ball over.
The Giants suck.
They're horrible.
The Commanders' defense may be the worst in the league this year, and the Giants still suck so bad. And I think it has to do with Daniel Jones sucking so bad. Like he's not good. And
They
he had a
didn't.
decent game, but he still sucks. Like
The Giants defense didn't give up a touchdown.
yeah. It was just
Literally didn't
field goal,
give up
field
a
goal,
touchdown.
field goal, field goal. Yeah, how many did what's his name? Austin Siebert hit this game? Shall we check? Shall we check? Austin Siebert with 7 of 7 in field goals. Counting at home, that's 21 points on fucking field goals, guys. Kicking
There's
has
a
become
solid bet. Bet the over on field goal attempts. Boom. You'll win a lot.
honestly, maybe field goal kicking has become completely automatic in the NFL. I just wish it was like that when Cody Parkey was in the league because that would have helped us out a lot. Devin Singletary looking like an elite running back solely because the Commanders can't stop the run and because the Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback and they definitely regret that contract. 1,000,000%. Commanders, don't get mad. Can't apologize for a win. Don't think they're good, but don't think they're bad. Their defense does suck ass, though.
Fair.
Jim Harbaugh gets a win over the lowly Panthers who bench Bryce Young this week. Is it over for Bryce?
Yeah, he's done, man.
Forever? Is he out forever? Somebody else
He
pick
might
him
be
up?
like a Sam Darnold scenario. Somebody will take a shot at him, and
Is he Sam Darnold
you
or
hope
Josh
for the
Rosen?
best. It's leaning towards Josh Rosen right now.
A little
I
bit.
saw the saddest video today of a Panthers fan standing at practice today, like waving at Bryce, like, Bryce, can I get an autograph? He's like, yeah, sure, man. And he comes over and he's like, I still think you're great, bro. Keep your head up.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh, that's gotta
sad.
be horrible.
I mean, they're doing him no favors. The Panthers are a shit organization, just absolute shit. The worst in the NFL. We've known that. David Tepper, brutal owner. Jim Harbaugh's the fucking man. I wish he was the Bears coach so bad. He's the man.
yeah, it'd be nice. He likes guys who like football, in case you didn't know.
Yeah. He's
He
like, I
really
like
likes guys who like football.
Guys who don't like football don't like me because I like guys who like football. And they don't
It's
like
true.
me because I talk about football. That's what he says. I'm like, he's such a fucking idiot, but I love him.
Pardon my take. He had a great idea. Like, that should be their opening theme music.
Just him saying that?
Like, get a remix of that, and that's your opening theme music. And I think it would apply to this same podcast too, because we're guys who like ball
Yeah.
and talking football. And if you don't like talking football or you don't like ball, then you won't like us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you try to listen to
simple
this without
rules.
liking football is a brutal podcast to follow.
Gotta be the worst.
Yeah.
But if you like ball, you know where to go. Chargers continue to run the ball. J.K. Dobbins, resurgence. Good for him. He's healthy. Looks
Yeah,
fantastic.
why the fuck
Another
is he
130.
Like, he was on the Ravens and he looked like he needed a walking stick the whole time. He goes to the Chargers and suddenly he's fast and good and awesome again.
He's had 2 years to recover. He's back. He's feeling good. He's with a guy he likes. He's with the brother of a brother. And their offensive line, Joe Alt, looks to be already a Pro Bowler.
Wish he was a Bear.
Wish he was a Bear too. But hey, we got a lot of good receivers, but we can't protect the quarterback, which we'll talk about here shortly.
Get to that. Yeah.
Chargers continue to win. I think they may have a potential to win that division.
No way.
We'll see.
Respectfully, Kansas City Chiefs are in there, and
Wild
they're-
card. They have a shot. To
Wild
make a wild
card.
card.
not the division. I can't believe that until that happens.
Okay.
Personally, but that's
Time
why
will
we're
tell.
different. The New Orleans Saints have literally played 2 full weeks of football without a single deficit. Saints beat the Cowboys. Cowboys looked like shit. Saints look amazing. Dennis Allen, coach of the year. I forgot that he was the coach of the Saints, and now suddenly he's the fucking coach of the year.
We
right
were
now.
talking in the offseason as if he was on a hot seat. We were also talking in the offseason about the Bears coaching carousel as
Gary
to who they were going
Kubiak.
to identify.
Gary.
Kyle.
Kyle, Gary's his dad.
His dad.
Yeah.
Kyle Kubiak, son of Gary Kubiak, known to win
Yeah.
Super Bowls and create beautiful offenses, also known to be the head coach of
Houston.
Peyton Manning and a lot of great NFL
He's
franchises.
the Texans, man. Don't forget it.
Yeah, Texans, man. His kid turns out pretty fucking awesome offensive coordinator. The Saints lead the league in points scored already this season, yards per game overall, air yards per game. And the Bears had him in the building and they could have hired him. But what do we get? Screen pass having
Shane Waldron.
leader of men, Shane Waldron. Not saying that the jury's out, but it doesn't look good. He was
Jury's
shaking like
not-
a fucking sieve.
Yeah, man.
He was shaking like a sieve on that
Hey,
sideline.
we're talking
which we'll
Saints,
talk about
Cowboys.
I'm sorry. Cowboys do the most Cowboys thing ever.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones is sitting there like, God damn it, I give these boys this much fucking money and I'm supposed to come in here and win an AT&T and fuck.
I don't know how to read the Cowboys. I think this is going to be one of those, I'm going to pass on this and talk about it next week because that was very weird. Early season Cowboys are usually good Cowboys. Alvin Kamara looks like he's out of his allegations and suddenly 5 years younger. Derek Carr's not that bad. Who would have thunk?
Over under, Devontae Adams gets traded there by the trade deadline.
Over under what?
It's going to happen or it's not going to happen. What are the odds? Week 5, week 7, trade deadline.
Probably not. Because
Okay.
the Raiders might be sneaky. Colts at Packers. Throw up
Puke game? Puke ball?
Anthony Richardson, is he good? No one really fucking knows. Can't really tell. Malik Willis, is he good? Unfortunately, anybody that plays quarterback for the Packers is fucking good. Packers win this one, 16-10. Colts play the Bears next week, so we're obviously looking at them. Takeaways? Why is Malik Willis good? What the fuck?
He's not good.
Good enough?
He has a wonderful coach
Yeah.
who brought
Floor's
back the
good,
fucking
man.
wing T offense for the next couple weeks while he's doesn't have a quarterback that can run his system.
LaFleur's
So
good,
he's
man.
like, let's just run the football. I mean, Josh Jacobs had a tremendous clip of rushing, 32 carries, 151 yards. Malik Willis throws 12 of 14 times and 122 yards. So basically, it was just like run the football, play action, get the ball out of his hands as quickly as possible.
Josh Jacobs, that's why you bring him in. Anthony Richardson, we'll see what he does next week. Moving on. Browns, Jaguars. Deshaun.
He got a massage last weekend. That's why he
Uh,
won this week.
yeah, but not a good game. Like, whatever.
This game
Trevor
was a shit
Lawrence?
show. The Jaguars had so many opportunities to put this game away.
I know.
And Trevor Lawrence just continues to prove why he's not it.
Not good, Trevor Lawrence? Are we done
he's
with him?
good. He's
Do
a
we-
B
Is
minus
he
quarterback.
good? He's a C quarterback. Exactly. I can't give him B minus. He hasn't done anything that's awesome at all. Like, ever. I've never seen him be fun in the NFL. Like, that's the scary, like, 1-1. Everybody was so confident about him. And he just is whatever, dude. 14 for 30, less than a 50% completion percentage, no touchdowns on the day. The fuck? Like, is it just the Jaguars' woes, just like the Panthers and the Bears and the Jets? Same shit?
The Jags had so many opportunities to put this game away and wasted
Yeah.
away so many red zone shots and dumb decisions. This game was a win for
Atrocious.
the Jags that they just gave up. And hey, the Browns won. And Deshaun
Atrocious
Watson ran
game,
for a
though.
touchdown.
Gross
Still can't
game.
throw the football. Still can't throw
No.
the football.
You know, you get rid of his massages, can't throw the football anymore. Deshaun Watson, better football player or person? You tell me.
Let that boy get his massages. It's also be
No.
a better football player.
Also, stop
There-
sexually assaulting people, Deshaun.
There is a theory out there that says that he was the savior, right? And he loved that image of himself and he kind of like lost himself.
100%. I believe that. He was the king
And-
of Clemson. He comes to Houston. He's the king of Houston. And then, too big for your britches. And then, once you get to the top, the only way is down.
True.
Jets win. Welcome to the winning column, New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdowns, 18 for 30, 176. Will Levis, not it. Titans, 0-2.
His own coach said he sucked.
He did.
Fantastic.
I mean, he had
He's
maybe
like,
the worst play of the last 5 years last week against the Bears, which allowed
and
them
then
to
he
lose
did
that
it
game.
again. He
And then
did
he
it
did it again.
again. And then it's
Brees,
his head coach, but you saw him look at him and go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
right. He's making insane decisions. You can't do that. You know, having a Thor's hammer isn't always what it seems to be. Brees Hall, the fucking guy. Braylon Allen, the fucking guy. Double backfield for the Jets. Aaron Rodgers is good at quarterback.
Go figure.
Probably
I
gonna
think
see more of
Aaron
that.
Rodgers will get back on track here quicker than people think, and Garrett Wilson will continue to prove
Well, now
he's
that the
the next one
Dolphins are
up.
essentially out on the division after Tua going down, I'd say this is a 2-horse race in my humble opinion.
Time will tell.
Speaking of leading the division and probably winning the division unless the Saints stop doing that, the Buccaneers win again. Baker Mayfield. You want to know who wants Baker Mayfield right now, Mike?
The Browns.
No, the Carolina Panthers. Two guys.
Another
that
one.
played, Two guys that played for the Panthers in the last 3 years that are both starting quarterbacks, two of the better ones in the league currently, both played for the Panthers, and instead they have Andy Dalton. But
Goes to show you, Vince, that
it's the organization, not the person.
the organization, the system, the support system, everything around you for you to be better. And wow, look at him go.
That's facts. Baker Mayfield, love to see him come back and do this. Jared Goff throwing for a bunch of yards but couldn't get it into the damn end zone.
And 2
Bucks
picks.
are fun. Well, that's what I'm saying. Throw a bunch of yards. 307. Can't get the ball in the end zone. Can't get the ball in the defense's hands. Buccaneers are a frisky little team. Frisky little team. NFC South, frisky little division now. Kind of fun to watch.
Know what's hilarious about this game?
What's that?
Baker Mayfield led the team in rushing.
He did. 34 yards. You see that dead leg he put on? Sent a lion
stud.
flying. Yeah. He's fun when he runs too, because you're like, what's he gonna do? Like, look at that little rascal go.
He is,
Yeah.
he's like sneaky athletic, and you're like, look at those. To your point, look at that little rascal go.
Yeah.
Gets it done.
Like
You
he
got- you
reminds
gotta
me
love
of
to see it.
what do you call those little rat-like things that stick their head out of the ground? Prairie dogs. He looks like a
Oh
prairie
yeah,
dog.
he's a little prairie. He's prairie
Yeah,
dogging
he's
it.
like a
That can mean
mole.
2 things.
He's like a mole.
You're
It's like when a
prairie
poop's
dogging
hanging
it,
out of
that
your
means
hole.
Yeah, you got a little caca hanging
Yeah.
out of there.
So Buccaneers move on. Buccaneers 2-0. Ravens are 0-2.
Man, the
Prob-
Raiders, they surprised some
problems-
people, and they won that game late.
Problems out in Baltimore right now, dude.
They seem to have a team of older gents. And likely looked like he had another great catch that almost was, and it wasn't.
Yeah,
On the
that's
sideline.
That's a bad persona to start building up. Is guy that almost catches it and doesn't end up doing it. The Baltimore Ravens need to start winning, for sure. That division's not going to be that hard this year, unless for some reason fucking Justin Fields is a god still. Who knows? Don't think he is, but regardless. Lamar Jackson, 21 for 34, 247. Derrick Henry, decent game, all things considered. What we have to talk about here is the Minshew. Gardner Minshew, 30 for 38, touchdown, interception, 276. Getting the ball in Devontae Adams' hands generally yields good things, Mike. Who would have thunk?
He's a dog, man. He's an absolute freak of nature. Plays his ass off. And Jacoby Myers is nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah.
You got 2 really good tight ends with Mayer and, oh, God, guy out of Georgia that just got drafted with a smoke show of a wife. What's his
Brock
name?
Bowers.
Yep. So you got double-headed monster in the tight end room. You got, some really good role players there.
Yeah.
I don't know what Zamir White is going to be in that run game. You really don't have an answer at running back right now. I feel like if they had that next level, maybe they would be something. But hey, they're 1-1.
You got a guy named Max Crosby, and Max Crosby generally gets the defense going. And some would say they're pulling the Henry Ruggs out of the Ravens, you know? Okay. Rams at Cardinals. Holy fucking shellacking, Kyler Murray. Welcome back to Glendale. You're a
I
dog.
called it. I
Yep.
called it. I
And
called
there's
it.
a man. There's a man in the first half of the game that had 4 receptions and 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. His name's Marvin Harrison. He heard what people were saying. He said, "Fuck you, pay me, bitch," and he's running on it now.
Welcome to the
Cardinals are good.
NFL.
Cardinals are good.
I would
dude.
also like to call out friend of the
Please call.
podcast, Mr. Ian Gardeck's younger brother, Dennis Gardeck.
Fucking king.
6
What a dog.
tackles, 3 sacks,
Yeah.
4 for loss. What an animal.
He was, dude, put on red zone. Dennis Gardeck. Dennis Gardeck. Dennis Gardeck. I'm like, look at this boy fucking go, dude. I was so
We-
jacked.
Shout out to a hometown legend
Yeah.
playing out in the desert, getting shit done. Brother's a friend of the podcast. Good stuff.
Rams, on the other hand, Blake Corum, welcome to the NFL. Matthew Stafford. Everybody's fucking injured. I
They're
don't
gonna
even
have a
like,
rough go of it, man. If you took anybody on that team, you are so sad in fantasy.
Yeah, I
right
have a
now.
friend that has CMC, Cooper Cup. I think he has like the whole team's injured. I'm like, whatever, man. You're fucked. You just got to get over this.
That
year,
happened to
buddy.
Mike last year, and that's why
Yeah.
I'm not playing this year because it
And
just
that's
makes me
yeah.
upset.
That's why
And
he
I
quit.
have-
And God damn it, I don't blame you.
Yeah, and not that I quit. I stopped playing this year.
Right. You didn't quit mid-season.
There's a difference.
Right. That's facts.
I didn't
That's
quit
facts.
mid-season. I have a sack.
You're right.
I just said I'm not playing this year.
yeah.
there's a
And that's your
difference.
goddamn right, dude.
I may come back next year. It'll be the greatest comeback you've ever seen.
If you get an invite, some people are going to be like, he doesn't want to, You're not Tom Brady.
Excuse me?
You can't just come back when you want,
I can come whenever I feel like it, boy.
right? Hold on to that. You're getting older. Bengals, Chiefs, 1 point. Chiefs win 26-25 in a nail biter. If there's a team that's going to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs this year, it's the Bengals. And hey, why do the Bengals always fucking start 0-2? Regardless of the year, regardless of what they want to do, they
Hey.
cannot win in the beginning of the season.
You know what? You know what's great, Vince?
What's
When
that?
you're a team like the Chiefs and you go into most
You're
games
doing this
and,
again?
and you have wonderful
tired,
talent that
so
you
played out.
drafted that is really playing to the top tier of its level. And then you got the guys in black and white also on your team, aka the
so
officials.
played out.
who
So
get-
bored
It's
of this
not played
argument.
out. It's every
So
fucking game that might be marginally
yawn,
close.
yawn,
They get a
yawn.
hometown
Find another
call,
argument. Yawn, yawn,
or
yawn.
Patty Mahomes gives a rubbing to Zug a la Deshaun Watson style at halftime in the ref room. And then you got Chris Collinsworth and Tony Romo out here just getting absolutely
Yawn,
all
yawn.
over that Mahomes D. So much so that Tony Romo, okay, how this man won an Emmy baffles me.
Yo, he sucks ass. I'm so sick of it.
He's
Tony Romo.
horrible.
Patrick Mahomes made a throw, and Tony Romo's like, see, he made that throw because he knew that. Like, did you
He
see
threw it
that?
round.
Yeah, and then
and
Tony
he's
Romo's
like,
like, that
"Oh,
was so impressive. He knew
Oh,
what he was
Jim.
doing. He
Jim,
did that.
look
on
at this.
purpose.
Is it- I don't know why I think Romo, I go Trump. It would be great just to see Trump in the
Let me
press.
tell you something.
Look at this.
Jim.
Look at this.
He does like the Jim, let me tell you something. He's like, he threw it at the ground. He knew what he was doing when he did that. We gotta love Patrick Mahomes. We're watching greatness in the flesh. And you're like, all he did was throw the ball on the ground. If anything, it was intentional grounding. But no, the referee thing, you're gonna have to get over it at some point. And it's what it is. You like the Patriots for so long, same shit happened to them. When you're the king, you're the king. It is what it is.
I hate it, and it's terrible. Let's move on.
Steelers Broncos. Hey,
Shitball?
remember that take I had about Sean Payton? Probably like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago.
That his offense has gotten a little old.
Yeah, that, and also some would call him a one-hit wonder, and some people call him the QB whisperer, and I say, because of one thing? Feeling that way. He's hitching his wagon to Bo Nix. He loves Bo Nix. Sean Payton is overrated as fuck. I've been saying this for 5-6 years. When he left the Saints, same shit. Everybody's like, he's a god. Like, he won one Super Bowl. He's equivalent to a whole bunch of other guys that won one Super Bowl. Bo Nix doesn't look good. Bo Nix is a rookie. It's week 2. We're going to have the same conversation about the next game that we're talking about, and things can change. But Sean Payton essentially letting Bo Nix take no credit or take no I guess, negative comments about this and being like it's the team's fault is bullshit. The Denver Broncos suck ass. They're bad.
Rookie quarterback team, 2 tough losses, close games, both. It's the NFL. It's difficult to win week to week. I still
He's
think Sean
so
Payton's a good
overrated.
coach.
He's so overrated. Wow, what has he done? He won 1 Super Bowl with the Saints fucking 15
And
years ago.
numerous playoff appearances.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's horrible. I'm just
Then
saying
he
he's
took a
overrated.
year off. He came back, and now he's inheriting a historically poopy franchise since Peyton Manning. So he's doing what he needs to do.
I don't know. I just
He's
don't see it.
rebuilding a team, Vince. I mean, it's still a first-year quarterback
Yeah, I know.
who
But
still
I
needs
just don't.
to
I
figure
don't
out
think
how
the
to make it
leash.
work.
People were like Sean Payton, Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, like upper echelon of the NFL, and I just don't see it. I don't get it.
He's
I
a
don't see it.
football savant. The man knows his shit.
You can say that.
Chicago guy. I'm not going to hate on him. I do believe he's very good. And I
Overrated.
do believe he very well could be. I also do believe, though, you have to look at it, and the situation's not ideal. He's hitching his wagon to Bo Nix, and we'll see how that works out for him.
Is he the general manager of the team too?
I believe he is.
Well, he's the one building the team, so building him better. Justin Fields wins 2 games now. Twitter's like, oh, the Bears got rid of Justin Fields, and now he's an elite quarterback. Fucking no, he's not.
He's not
Caleb
elite.
Williams the same. I'm happy for him. I don't want to see him fail. I think it's
No.
cool that he's playing well. I think this team is fun. I think this team plays like a Mike Tomlin team, and they win by 7 points in a 13-6 game. That's Mike
And it's
Tomlin,
also very good for the Bears organization because if he plays more than 4 games this season, that 7th round pick turns into a 4th round pick.
baby. Yes, please, so we can
So
draft another punter.
Yeah, how's that playing out for us? Speaking of which, because he's
Dog.
getting
Dog.
a lot of text saying he wasn't going to be doing a lot of that, and sure as
Yeah.
shit, he's doing a whole lot of punting.
Yeah, and he's pretty fucking good at it. So I'm happy that we picked him up.
Man, I'd really prefer a center.
let's
but
go.
I
Let's get in there.
digress.
It's Bears corner.
No.
Can't do it.
Mm.
Bears Texans. I'll let you start. Go ahead.
The Chicago Bears go into Houston. So the Bears went into Houston. Nobody thought we had a fighting chance in this game. Vince and I didn't even pick this team.
Yeah.
And we hung with a very good football team that punched us in the mouth. And I don't know what the expectations were, but if you listen to Chicago radio, it's like you lost the Super Bowl. You didn't lose the Super Bowl. You lost in a close battle to a very good team, being the Houston Texans. And CJ Stroud was actually held to minimal yardage, passing yardage, and got kind of held in check by a very good Bears defense. And let me just say this much. I've watched this Bears game in my lifetime 1,672 times.
Yeah.
I
That
was
might
about
be
to say
that
73.
might be understating it, to be honest.
I have watched this same football game.
You think the Bears ever played 1,000 games?
I don't know, but in my lifetime, I've
Yeah.
watched this Bears game
Over and
of
over.
defense, field goal, 1 touchdown, running. It's the most Bears shit ever,
It's
and I
Brad
don't know what more
Miller.
to say.
It's Cade
Yeah.
McNown. It's Jay Cutler.
It's Rex Grossman.
It's
It's,
Rex
Jay
Grossman.
Cutler.
It's the same. Yeah. Same shit.
It's Kyle Orton. It's giving Kyle Orton.
Oh God, fucking damn it! I hate that so much. It makes me sick.
It's giving big Mitch vibes.
Yeah, dude. I think you asked us 4 weeks ago, where are we after week 2? I say 1-1. We both said 1-1. Last week we said
Here we
1-1.
are.
If
All
we
right.
were within a score with the Texans, we did it. Great. The offensive line is horrific. It was maybe the worst offensive line play I've ever seen. The reason I have real issue with this is that we have a young quarterback, obvious first overall pick. Everybody's going to be looking at him and microanalyzing him and all this shit and whatever. I don't care about that. Chicago's manic naturally. Everybody's going to be manic. This is what I've been saying to everybody all week. I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, rookie quarterback, and our offensive line sucked. And they have Daniil Hunter and Will fucking Anderson. Like, this is a good defensive line. The Texans are probably top 5 in the league right now. All of that being said, that offensive line was atrocious. Maybe the worst I've ever seen. Recency bias, all things considered. Maybe the worst I've ever seen. I don't like seeing our rookie quarterback getting murdered in the backfield. The next point, Luke Kuechly goes on some Kay Adams show, I think, and he says, well, he needs to get rid of the ball faster. Justin Fields, fuck me. Caleb Williams is getting rid of the ball faster than anybody in the fucking NFL this year. Unfortunately, that's not the issue, Luke Kuechly. You need a line that can stop guys for at least a little bit. I'm watching all the replays. I see Darnell Wright get spin zoned and thrown on the ground. I see the inside just getting blown out. I see Nate Davis being a fucking liability like he has been the last 2 weeks. Bears aren't changing anything in the offensive line. Maybe that's good so they can get some continuity going. We have a couple easier games coming up. Hopefully it ends up working out. Hopefully DeAndre Swift can find a hole and hit it. That's going to be very important. But if we keep having games where he's getting assaulted in the backfield like this, regardless of how good he is, he's not going to be able to play because he's going to be injured. So there's a difference between college. There's a difference with the NFL, and him trying to run away from college players and him playing against NFL players is clearly harder. So let's get a line together that can actually give him some time, not even a lot, just some time, because I'm watching every other game and quarterbacks are dropping back and making throws, and he's not allowed to drop back because he doesn't have time to fucking do that.
What I get concerned about is protecting your young asset. And 7 sacks is not doing it.
Hell no.
36 pressures out of 47 dropbacks, not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Darnell Wright being a first-round draft pick, getting absolute spin-cycled, human turnstyled against.
That is one play. That is one play. That is Will
There's
Anderson.
also more on that.
Nate
Hunter. Davis running past people, not knowing where he is, or looking interested in playing the game of football is also very concerning.
Biggest loser
not
on this
having
team?
What?
Nate Davis, biggest loser on the team?
He is an absolute floppy piece of shit.
Joke.
And he is the resident floppy piece of shit of the Chicago Bears, and you paid him $15 million.
100% joke.
Tevin Jenkins, I believe, needs to move back to the right side of the football. And he is not a left guard. He needs a right guard.
Yeah.
And he needs to play that position. Braxton Jones doesn't seem to be a solution.
I don't think he's good.
Cole Kmet needs more involvement.
Hey, you want to know what he's pretty good at?
Blocking?
Yeah. You want to know who's pretty bad at blocking?
Gerald Everett?
Oh, what a concept. Wow. Fucking beautiful.
They're
Shane Waldron.
they run like a bubble screen
like
to Gerald Everett. I'm like, what are you doing?
He's the slowest guy. He's not slow, but he's slower than every receiver that we have. Why are we throwing a bubble screen to Gerald Everett? Also, for what it's worth, I was watching it, and at a point in the second quarter, every single throw that they had for 7 plays in a row were all behind the line of scrimmage. Why don't you try moving the field forward a little bit?
Well, he doesn't have time to move the field forward.
Exactly,
and the opportunities.
But quick slants. Like, you got to run something that's a quick dump off. Like, I don't like the check
You
got
to be able to run the football.
Yeah. And
DeAndre Swift. What? Can I ask another dumb question?
Can't hit a hole.
He
can't hit a hole.
Well, he can't hit a hole, but Khalil Herbert, who can, is not getting any opportunities. Roshan Johnson hasn't gotten one carry.
Injured.
He was suited up. He got punched in the face.
No, I know, but he's injured. They're not playing him right now. He's like an emergency put in. Yeah, that was bullshit too. Fuck that punch in the face. I do like seeing the guys fight for their boy.
That should have been absolutely a penalty, but they didn't call that. They didn't call the egregious late hit penalty.
What is this, the Chiefs?
Well, would have been nice, but he ain't there yet. Once again, the Bears don't get those calls. The Chiefs, if it's the Chiefs, they get the call.
All right, we're not talking about the Chiefs Bears. Go.
If you look at the time of possession, the Bears owned in that 31 minutes over 28. We had the same amount of first downs. We were one play away. It just, we don't have the dogs on offense to get it done right now.
We don't have.
Keenan Allen would have been nice to have as well.
Yeah, and also having him out, not great. But we say all of this to say, and I think you agree in my sentiments, and we'll see in a moment here, but we say all that to say, He had a similar stat line to Justin Fields, as people have been saying. He's a rookie quarterback. Rookie quarterbacks are historically not great in the first couple weeks of their rookie season. And we only lost by 6 points against a top 5 team. So
What's the expectation?
I'm okay with this. We could probably get 2 or 3 wins in the next 5 weeks. Keep moving forward, get better as the season goes. We're not supposed to win a fucking Super Bowl right now. Don't freak out. It just sucks that we were on prime time, and it sucks that we were wearing those candy ass orange uniforms. And like that shit does not help us when you're like running around like a chicken with your head cut off and you look like a little Easter bunny trying to fucking avoid all of the attackers.
And I just worry about him getting
Keep him
absolutely
healthy and keep him
PTSD'd.
upright, man.
Yeah.
I'm afraid he's gonna Sam Darnold see ghosts.
Sam Darnold see ghosts or David Carr get absolutely destroyed in the first 3 seasons and
Right.
never see the field again.
Yeah, also, just fucking me. I need to stop doing this. Caleb Williams is on pace to break the rookie sack record at 76 sacks. He's going to beat David Carr. Almost did what you did too with the Derek. He's going to beat David Carr in his rookie season. He's going to get the most sacks of all time. So anybody that's saying he needs to get rid of the ball quicker, that doesn't make any sense. The offensive line is considerably worse than it's been in the last 10 years, which is fucking saying something. So keep all that in mind. We'll talk about it next week. Did you get all your Bears thoughts out?
Last thought,
Yeah.
that punter was the right decision trading back into the 4th round.
He's really fucking good.
He's a
He's really
punter.
fucking good.
Let's move on.
Also, defense
Monday night.
fucking rocks. The defense is so good. I love that
Defense looks great. Bears are back to Bear stuff.
This Monday night game, Mike, was fun. This was a fun
It was
one.
electric.
I feel bad for Philly.
I don't. They had every opportunity to put that game away, and they didn't.
Saquon Barkley should have caught that ball.
He should have caught that ball. They also should have ran the clock out more. They should have gave
They
Saquon more of
shouldn't
an
have
opportunity.
ran the ball there. Saquon Barkley was marching up the field. He probably could have gotten 1 yard. They could have pushed it up there. The game's over. If for people that didn't watch, we were down to the 4th quarter. It was what, like was it a 1-point game or 2-point game in the 4th quarter? And then they kicked a field goal, which ended up requiring them to score a touchdown, the Falcons. That was the idea.
Yeah, it was
So,
18
Eagles-
to 21, and
The Eagles are on the 10-yard line, something like that.
No,
like
it was 15 to 21, and then they gave the ball back after that score, after that field
yeah, it was
goal.
15. It was 15 to 19, so they're up 4, whatever.
Yeah.
They kick a field goal. In my mind of minds, hindsight's a bitch. Obviously, it's been a couple days. You run the ball on 4th down. They have to kick a field goal to tie. So it was 15, 16, 17, 18, 15, 18, whatever. They probably should have ran it. Saquon Barkley, highly paid running back, pretty good play design. Ball is in his hands. He needs to catch that ball. Regardless of bad play call, whatever, Saquon Barkley needs to catch that ball. If he catches that ball, the game is iced. It's over. Atlanta doesn't look great the whole game. Either did the Eagles, and there's shit that they got to deal with. But Kirk Cousins in that 2-minute drill at the end of the game, minute 48 left in the game, was ice. Absolute fucking ice. Kirky Chains comes in, and he said this after the game, too. He's like, that 2-minute play, like, we know what plays we're calling. This isn't like I need to come up with ideas as we go. This is the play. This is the move. This is the play. This is the move. And the defense is the Eagles secondary just crumbled under the pressure. And Kirk threw the ball where he needed to. And the Falcons fucking deserved to win that game. That was a fun ending to the game. Philadelphia's got to be pissed, though, because they had it. They were literally 2 fingertips away from a win there.
That double move by Drake London. Oh,
He's good.
boy.
Where'd he go
He's
to college?
very good. USC.
Oh, shit.
How about Darnell Mooney?
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney?
Former Bear.
Looking like a very capable lad, as we all knew he was in Chicago. But wow, he actually has somebody to throw him a football.
Yeah, man. That's why we paid other receivers, so they also don't get the ball thrown to them. It's fun, man. Eagles good, Eagles bad, Eagles making the playoffs.
Eagles have potential to make the playoffs, but they need to get their secondary in check.
Yes or no? Making the playoffs?
At this stage of the game, I am going to say in this division, yes, they make the playoffs.
They might win the division whoopsie daisies.
They might win the division just due to the fact that they're in a pretty shitty division.
And I don't think the Cowboys, too, lost considerably worse than the Eagles did this week. So
And the Cowboys may just have more problems than the Eagles, and that's
Which
why I
is-
say that.
saying something. All right. That's the
Right.
slate. We good to go? We making picks now?
Let's make some picks, Vince.
I would like to do something this week. I would like to pick first this time. Are you cool with
Vince
that?
is picking first.
Yeah, because
All right,
usually go
Vince.
and then I make my decisions off of yours. Where I would rather do it first this time and then you can make your decision off of mine. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Vince. Then I'm
you-
taking the crown here.
Are you
Give
into it? Okay.
me the leader stick
Go ahead.
because I'm running shit
Run it,
like
Turbo.
Covina.
Run it. Turbo.
So, week 3 of the NFL.
Yeah.
Let's get this bitch started.
Damn.
Starts on Thursday night. You'll
Yeah.
be hearing this Thursday night. We got the Patriots at the Jets. Historic rivalry.
Yep.
Who you taking and why?
Jets, Jets. Aaron Rodgers, Jacoby Brissett. One's better, one's worse. Patriots suck. Jets.
Not betting against Aaron Rodgers. He looks like he's about to get hot. So, same Jets.
Okay.
Book it. All right. Now, we have a lineup of lineups playing against the other lineups of lineups on Sunday.
Hold on.
First game of
Is what I have to say about this matchup.
it is a very poopy game. Giants at Browns, Vince. Who you taking?
Giants will never win a game. I'm taking the Browns.
I think this week looks different.
Okay.
I'm taking a dark horse Giants team here. Give me
Okay.
the Giants.
Okay.
Give me one. Like this shit streak can't last forever, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3.
Yep.
Eagles Saints in New Orleans. Gonna be loud, Vince. Who you got?
I like the Eagles. The
You're
Saints have
going
been,
Eagles
the
fly,
Saints
Eagles
have been
fly.
too good.
Oh, you like
Regression. Regression has to happen. The Eagles are fucking embarrassed. Philadelphia is going crazy and are angry about it. I think the Saints regress. I think the Eagles progress. I'm going to take the Eagles here.
Think the Saints are hot. I think they're playing great defense. I think the Eagles coming off of an emotional win. Usually teams
Loss.
against the spread after an emotional loss. My bad. No, I'm gonna go with the Eagles too. I think Saquon's gonna have a day
Woo! Welcome to the
because
team.
who they played? They played a really shitty Cowboys team,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna be high on cloud 9. They might get punched in the mouth, and they haven't seen a defensive line that looks quite like that.
Yep. And their defensive line needs to prove something because they weren't fucking great this week. So, all right.
Another battle.
Uh-huh.
Man, I give the Vikings credit. They get a gauntlet 2 weeks in a row. If they come out of this undefeated, they are a really good football team and not a pretender. Vikings at home play the Texans, another NFC North team. Who do you got?
Unfortunately, they don't come out of this with a win. I think the Houston Texans win again, too, because I think the Vikings defense isn't as good as the Bears, and they want to open it up a bit. So I'm taking the Texans.
I think the Texans are going to throw for some yards. I think you're going to see a Stephon Diggs big old day. I'm
love that.
betting Stephon Diggs touchdown. I bet you it's
Okay.
kind of like a shoe-in at this stage of the game, but I'm betting.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. In Minnesota, 100%. 100%.
Book it. All right. Bucks Broncos. Bucks at home.
Fuck you, Bucks.
Yep, put
the
the Bucks
Broncos
in.
suck.
Yep, put the Bucks
Move
in.
on.
All right. Malik Willis revenge game.
Dude,
Titans Packers in Nashville. Who you taking?
horrible color matchup. Horrible quarterback
Green
matchup.
and
This is
blue.
gonna fucking suck. It's just gonna be puke green versus shit blue, and just Malik Willis and Will Levis and just ugh. I don't want to take either team. I feel like the Titans have to win one at some point, so I'll give it to them here. And I fucking hate the Packers.
Yeah, give me Thor's hammer. I'll take the Titans as well. Let's go.
Okay, rock on. Fuck the Packers.
All right, kind of home game, not a home game. Chicago Bears going to the Colts. Who you taking?
I'm taking the Bears, and here's why, truly, honestly. Anthony Richardson is a big ball quarterback. He's not throwing short range for anybody. He's throwing deep, and the one thing that the Bears got more than anything else is a fucking secondary that hits hard and stops big plays. If he can't do that, and if we can at least mildly stop the run, Colts defense isn't that great. So if we can get the run going, if we can throw the ball, they're one of the worst run defenses in the league. And if we could stop the big play, then I think the Bears could win this. So I'm taking the Bears. Not only because it's a home, obviously I'm going to do that because I'm a homer, but I think that can actually do this.
Give me the Bears as well.
Woo!
Bear down. All
Bear
right.
down.
Chargers, Steelers.
Someone's got to lose.
Chargers going to the Steel City. I mean, not an end in sight here. Who you got?
Harbaugh, Tomlin. Oh man. Ah, God. There's no one's gonna score in this. Fuck me. I'm taking the Chargers. I don't love that, but I'm taking the Chargers.
Give me the Bolts. Hammer the under.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah.
Seahawks. 12-man. Got the Dolphins coming in without Tua. Who you taking?
Brother, give me Geno. I'm taking the Seahawks.
I'm going to say the same. Give me the Seahawks. 12th man's going to
Okay.
be in full effect. And a rookie head coach will be 3-0. Look at that.
For what it's worth, we only have one game differentiating ourselves so far. So
that's about to change here in the second half. I got a feeling.
Oh, yeah? Why are you taking the Panthers here?
We'll see. So Raiders go home to Las Vegas. The Panthers and the Red Rocket roll into Vegas. Who you got?
Raiders. Panthers suck.
I agree.
Nice.
Book it. Okay. 49ers at Rams. Rams are currently without any weapons, trying to find an identity.
Niners coming off of a loss. Give me the Niners.
Niners coming off of a loss. Who you taking?
Niners all day. Take them. Do it.
I can't
do it.
I can't do it. I can't do it for this. Just for the sense of parody. That's terrible.
Yeah, I know. It's
give me,
rough.
give me the fucking 49ers.
Now we're in a spot here, though.
All right, Lions Cards. We got Mike's Cardinals against Vince's Lions. Who you got?
Why am I the Lions? It's just your Cardinals. Lions coming off of a loss. They got to win one here. Cardinals coming off of a big win. Kind of an upset situation. Part of me feels like that's 100% a Lions win, which means it's 100% not a Lions win. I'm thinking too hard into this. I'm going to take the Lions, and I'm probably going to be wrong. Here we go.
Give me the Cardinals. They're playing hot. I like it.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. All right.
All right, Vince. Here we go. Ravens, Cowboys, two teams that have really, truly underwhelmed everybody so far to start this season.
Embarrassing losses.
Playing in Dallas. Who do you like here?
Cowboys don't drop 2 in a row, but the Ravens don't lose 3 in a row.
Cowboys are at home, Vince. I mean, Dak.
But the Ravens are
0-2. I don't know. It's going to be a battle. Who are you taking?
The Ravens can't lose this. I need to take the Ravens, and if they do, we're fucked. Like, they're fucked. I'm taking the Ravens.
Taking the Ravens?
Oh,
give me the Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys.
Tough.
I'll take the boys. It's a toss-up. Toss-up pick of the week.
There's no chalk. This is 50-50. Like, honestly, bet the spread. Bet the fucking points if you want to, but I wouldn't bet money line on either of these fucking teams right now.
All right, here we go. We got the Jags, who
Chiefs.
are also underwhelmed. No. Oh, my bad. Chiefs going to Atlanta where the players playing the Falcons.
Chiefs.
Really?
Chiefs.
After a very close win against a very good defense.
Chiefs.
Give me Kirky fucking Cuz. I think he pulls it out. I think he's getting on a heater. I got a feeling.
Okay.
I like it. All right, give the vibes here, Vince. We got Josh Allen playing against another guy drafted a couple years after him who was allegedly so much better than he was in college.
Yeah.
All right, we got the Jags going to Buffalo.
This stinks. This game stinks. I don't like this at all.
This game does have a stench, doesn't it?
In Buffalo,
Bills are riding high.
Bills riding high. Jaguars riding low. Bills defense playing okay, decent. Yeah, Jaguars aren't winning in Buffalo. Give me the Bills.
I'm also going to take the Bills.
Yeah.
All right, Vince. Commies at Bengals. Bengals start the season 0-2 against two very inferior teams. Not the Chiefs, but
Yep.
almost beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Got the Bengals at home against the Commies coming in there, playing off of a big win for a rookie. What do you think?
Commanders' defense sucks. The Bengals need to get the ball on the road here. They're not going to be 0-3. They're going to be 1-2 after this weekend. They're beating the Commanders.
See, I think there's a world where Jamar Chase gets a new contract.
Where Tigers learn to lose to the fucking whatever the fuck the Commanders are.
Something smells like the Commies. Give me the
Okay.
Commies this game because
Okay.
I believe there's some friction going on in that locker room
Yeah.
with Jamar Chase getting absolutely bitched out by everybody on that sideline. T. Higgins
Yeah.
not coming back until week 4.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is being a boner. I can see it. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I just don't see the
The
Bengals
NFL.
going 0-3. I just
The
don't see them
NFL.
going 0-3.
So those are our picks for this weekend. Ride with us or don't. Your choice. Some weeks
Probably
were great,
shouldn't.
some weeks were
You
not,
probably
just like
shouldn't.
anybody. Hey, last week we were 10-6. This week we're 6-10. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. Back
It's
and
a
forth,
fickle
back and forth.
bitch.
Slip, slop,
It's a
slip,
fickle
slop, slip,
bitch.
slop.
Mike had
Yeah.
some big picks though. I mean, come on. You didn't think that the Bucks were gonna go into Detroit and beat Detroit. You didn't
You're
think,
right.
you didn't think Sammy D was gonna be a dog hanging D up in, Skull Land.
Dropping D.
Yeah. So it's a fickle game, this NFL. Any other topics, Vince?
I think
of
we're
this
done, bud.
upcoming
You guys
weekend?
enjoy watching this football, and hopefully nothing horrible happens to you. That's all I got to say.
And on that note, we appreciate you joining us week after week, as you always do. If you haven't taken the time to go like us, follow us,
Do it.
share us, comment, maybe leave a little love in the comments on the Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you're listening. Let us know how we're doing. Maybe you got a question. Maybe you want to know what the boys think about a silly little topic you got bouncing around in your brain. We'll address it and also shout you out. As always, we enjoy doing this as much as you enjoy listening. So thank you once again. And also, it's the year of the siblings. So share it with your brother, share it with your sister, share it with your sister from another mister, and your brother from another mother. And as always, we will see you next week.
Peace.
Talking Tales with Mike and Vince. Oh, jazzy beats while we dispense. Yeah,